In the landscape of figure photography, one group strived for tangible and dynamic displays.
No time to explain. Get in the rows.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Bug.
Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. It's the bigger love of the family.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is filmed in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers just like you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is not Book Nice 10. Can you believe that? It's not Fabio. I'm not Poncho.
Keep going.
Rick Dom. I'm not David Walton either. I'm Rick Dom from the A.C.B.A. podcast, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the A.C.B.A. podcast. I'm going to do it like Bug. Episode number 726. I'm sure that's inaccurate.
Sounds accurately inaccurate, though.
There you go. Boom. We can hear you, Poncho. Oh my god! But you haven't even said anything. How do they know? They're lying to you, man. They're trying to fuck with you. It's episode 367. We're talking Comic-Con reviews. We're talking Snowcat, not the person, the G.I. Joe review. Yeah, we're talking shit. What up, boys? What y'all been up to? What's the week like? What's cooking? What's going on?
It's hot.
Oh man, you don't gotta tell me. Have you been seeing? You know what? I know you're not a Twitter person, David, because you're a sane family man who has his head on straight. But have you been seeing this Twitter discourse of the people in Britain that don't shut the fuck up about like, oh, you guys think it's hot in America? Well, it's like it's 80 degrees here all week. Shut your ass. 80 degrees.
Hilarious. Yeah,
you don't understand. That's British heat, according to that.
Yeah, you don't get it. It's British heat. This is a different beast.
And Celsius. That makes all the difference.
It smells like fries and beans. That's what makes it so bad. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
It's hot here, man. Yo, I am really excited to share this with you both.
Are you moving to Britain?
Your boy. Wait, what did you say?
I said, are you moving to Britain?
No. No, mate. But close. I did take a little mental trip to the UK because your boy broke his J.K. Rowling's cherry.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah.
I powered through all 7 motherfucking Harry Potter films.
Holy shit.
Since the last time we chatted, I knew nothing, and I have officially renamed our home Hogwarts.
Whoa.
Hogwarts? That's incredible.
I am with the shits, and Harry Potter was nothing like what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was
thoughts, David. Thoughts.
Man, so many. It was really good. Well, I will say what did fuck me up was I did not have the luxury of watching these actors grow up over the course of years. So by the time I got to Order of the Phoenix, is that the one where they introduce love potions and everybody's like crushing on everybody and people are trying to hook up and go to the dance and all that other shit? Like when they started like that movie was really horny. Whatever the horny movie was, where everybody was looking up.
They was fucking.
That shit was jarring because a few days prior, it was Sorcerer's Stone time and it was Chamber of Secrets time, and they literally like fast forwarded to fucking essentially, like when Hermione was talking about the dude who was like overly touchy feely on her, and she was like trying to hide in the little thing with Carrie, and then the guy came to find her, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? These kids are like, these teenagers are like really fucking on here. But outside of that, I did not know that there was going to be a director shift. I did not know that the shift went from Columbus to the Spanish guy whose name escapes me, who did Prisoner of Azkaban, which was my favorite film out of all of them. Far and away. And then Yates, is his name David Yates? I don't think he found his mojo as quickly as the other directors did of this space. I don't think that he really fully grasped what he was doing with the characters in the world until Deathly Hallows. And by then we were at the end. Deathly Hallows 2 was a masterpiece in and of itself. I think so. I think like visually, story-wise, the acting was peak by then. The special effects were phenomenal. How long ago did these movies come out? 10 years ago? 20 years ago?
15 years maybe?
Yeah, 15 years probably.
So the special effects in Deathly Hallows 2 still hold up. The fact that I'm talking about this shit and giving it a review like it just came out yesterday, but these movies are 15
Indie darling Harry Potter films. You ever heard of them?
Yeah. But all in all, I was very pleased. Thank you guys for the reco. I have no idea how I flew under the radar. Like literally, one of my homegirls, shout out to Kendall, is actually her name too. She's a huge Harry Potter fan, has given me shit for years because we used to work together. And I told her that I hadn't watched Harry Potter, knew nothing. Her and her husband, Nick, have been to Harry Potter World a few times. They rave about it. So when I told her I was watching it, she was one, shocked. And then two, she was like, I need you to give me like play-by-play in real time of your thoughts and feelings and everything as you go. And her husband have been like laughing at me all week because they're like, the emotional roller coaster of your texts of like everything that you're telling us in real time have been some of the greatest things ever. And then today, Rick and I were talking about the new series that's coming up. That's, controversial. And he and I both agreed that it doesn't really make sense, at least to me as a newbie, it does not make sense to redo the 7 books or the 6 books, but why not focus on the generation prior to Harry, Hermione, and Ron? Like, why not focus on James and Lizzie and Severus and Snape when they were at Hogwarts? Like, I want to see James Potter be a dick and like be a little snarky, likable dick. I don't know, but we'll see. I will watch the series now because of this show.
Hell yeah. Give it its shot, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm in, man. I am. Yeah. And I'm a Potterhead.
Hell yeah.
Pothead for real.
Pothead. Yeah, I'm with it.
Man, my worst fear was that you'd watch one and you'd be like, Rick, this is not for me. And I'd go like, man, that's a fucking shame. But you know what, man? There's something about that opening of the first Harry Potter film that just fucking just traps you. I don't know what it is, man, but
it's Columbus, bro. Like he crafted a wonderful, fantastical world that really did draw you in. And I think that he, having not read the books, that's next for me, but just from a cinematic standpoint, he crafted a very magical place that felt like anything was possible. And the fact that he was able to lay that down for the first 2 films, and then the tonal shift in The Prisoner of Azkaban was done so well that by that 3rd film, you're like all the way hooked.
Yeah, did a great job. And you were saying Prisoner of Azkaban's your favorite film. Mexico City legend, one of the greatest filmmakers of our time, Alfonso Cuarón, is the man behind Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
That he's fucking amazing. His ability to set a tone and like an atmosphere in his films are like they're practically unmatched. He's an Oscar winner now. He's the fucking shit. You know, he's great. And when I found out that he was the person that made Prisoner of Azkaban, I was like, oh my god! I just funny when you said it, the Spanish guy. I always thought that guy was from Spain too. And I was like, oh shit, it's Alfonso Cuarón that did this. He's killer. He's a few years back, I'm sure you remember. He made a film called Roma for Netflix that that the lead actress should have won best actress, but she didn't, to some fucking stupid ass period piece British film that nobody remembers, where it was like a real silly ass fucking script, you know. It was real like, god, it feels like I'm shitting on Britain right now, but I'm not. It was just it was a very forgettable film, and like the role was very jokey and strange, and I was really pissed off that that she did not win for best actress over that fucking British lady. It really pissed me off. Roma's an incredible film. Highly recommend it.
One last thing, because I know we're not going to talk Harry Potter all night. I started watching some behind the scenes stuff, and say his name again. Alfonso what?
Alfonso Cuarón.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Cuarón. It's a Cuaron. Cuarón.
All right, I got you. So one cool thing that he said that he did, because there was a tonal shift in the actors and he, you know, wanted them to start doing some drills to start taking the characters more serious, is he said he gave them all a homework assignment, which was to kind of write an essay about their character's backstory and kind of like what led to them being here and things that had not been covered in the book or in the script. And, you know, he gave them a week to do it. And so he said when he asked them for their papers, you know, before they started filming, Harry, I don't know why these names are escaping me. Daniel Radcliffe, thank you.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe came with his and had written out multiple pages about Harry's backstory. Emma Watson came with hers and had written multiple pages of her backstory. And then the young actor whose name I don't know, who played Ron Weasley, came with nothing. And then he was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, you had a week to do this. You showed up with nothing. This was like, this is letting me know how serious you're taking the character and getting into the character's history, and you're formulating this so that you know. And he was like, yeah, I know. That's just it. Ron would not have done the paper.
Yeah, I've heard this story.
He's like, Ron would have showed up and would not have done the assignment. And then he said he just looked at him and was like, you get it. And I thought that was a really cool, awesome moment, a fun story of behind the scenes, and just showed how much these characters really got into it. So for anyone who's listening, if you're like me and you have not seen any of the Harry Potter films, go tune in. You're in for a good treat. And I'll be tuning in when the new show starts, even though there's controversy like with everything else with the casting.
The casting has caused so much controversy, but I think it's all been pretty good. I don't know. It's been looking good to me. I love the idea of each season being a book. I love that idea, so I'm giving it its fair go. John Lithgow as Dumbledore was probably to me the craziest casting. I think everything else was perfectly fine, but when I saw John Lithgow was Dumbledore, I was like, what the hell, an American?
Yeah. But John Lithgow was a really good actor.
John Lithgow's fucking incredible. So, you know, I'm giving this shit a shot. It looks like it's gonna be solid. I like the idea of a book in a season. So we'll see. Hopefully they do it right. Like it's no offense to the series because I liked it, even though it has some controversy, but or not controversy, but some people didn't like it. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm really worried for that show. Not shooting these things. Yeah, the live action. I'm really worried because not shooting these things back to back is gonna fuck this show up. Kids, I mean, you're a father, you know, and I mean even Poncho now is too, and I'm sure he could attest. Even in the short time he's been a father, kids grow really fucking fast, man. So if you're not on this shit and shooting back to back, you're gonna fuck yourself over. Like I'm really worried for this show, and like they take 5 years to do a season 3. That these kids are gonna look like they're about to be 20 years old, playing a fucking 10-year-old kid. You know, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they have not cracked that code yet in Hollywood of the importance of if you're doing shows that focus on young adults, that you have to shoot this shit at a much faster tempo. You have to schedule it that way. You have to budget it that way. The show that I think that was impacted drastically from this, and they had to like change entire story plot lines, was Lost. Like, I think about it all the time, and it's still a lesson that Hollywood has not learned. Believe it or not. I still got to finish Avatar. I think I've only seen like the first 3 or 4 episodes of that show.
Yeah, it was solid. You know, there was some changes that I wouldn't have done, but I don't think that they ruin the show or they make it some unwatchable thing or anything. But you know, I do worry for series like this. Like Harry Potter, they were smart. They did not let up. These kids did not do shit except for Harry Potter for those 8 or so years, you know, and I think the same needs to be for this series. You need to lock these kids up.
You got to
and get them to do this shit sequentially, because stretching these things out and, you know, waiting a few years between movies sucks. You know, it's never going to work when you're dealing with a cast of children. Isn't that right, Boog?
All right, we talked about this for almost 20 minutes. Come on.
We're good. That was some good Boog stalling, because once Boog gets here, he's not going to talk about this shit.
What was that? Harry Potter discussion?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you watched it, man. It is a very joyous thing to go through.
Hell yeah. Boog is here. Potter talk is over. Boog, what up? How was your week?
My week was good. How you guys doing? My week was good. Short week. I hope everybody here is off tomorrow. I hope everybody's off tomorrow. God damn it.
Oh yeah, they give off. Yeah, the 4th of July is never in question. It's Juneteenth. That's all.
Right.
They're very selective about their patriotism and freedom. So
yeah, I saw Kimmel do a little bit where he was like asking people if they what Juneteenth was. It was very funny. asking white people only, obviously, but it was very funny. Yeah. But yeah, my week was good. It was quick and long at the same time. So I don't know.
Are you guys doing anything suburb Boog? Are you guys doing anything cool, new, and different for the 4th tomorrow?
No, because we are going to Fayetteville next weekend. So we just chilling this weekend.
Fayetteville, North Carolina?
Yes.
Whoa. Isn't that like not too far?
For those that are in the NC.
Right. So I'll be down your way.
Yeah, very close to you, Pancho. Very close. Come on.
But yeah, we going to Ashley's family reunion on her mom's side. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. So tomorrow we just gonna chill. I probably, you know what I mean? I probably put a couple burgers, a couple glizzies on the grill. You know?
What I'm talking about. Don't be afraid to glizzy gobble.
But nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
All right, bet. How about you, P? How about you, Rick? Are you guys doing anything cool, anything exciting for the 4th?
Absolutely not.
Wow. Pancho, that is, I cannot believe this. I thought we were doing nothing. And then I was downstairs eating earlier, and my mom and my aunt were like, yeah, let's do something on the pool tomorrow. Like, we'll make food. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're Mexican. What's happening here? But I guess they're going to do something.
Yeah, you know, it's not, I don't know, man. So it's a very volatile moment in America right now.
Yeah,
so
it's a real big, beautiful holiday, man.
Hilarious. You're smart. She's like, they're not about to fly a drone over our house and not see us outside celebrating. Like that.
I love America. We're real noodles over here. Yeah, because you know,
go ahead.
My mom's first grandkids are not in town, so usually when they're not around, we don't do shit. So they told me we're gonna be by the pool and make food. I was like, well, I guess like this seems very not us, but okay. We'll do it. We'll glizzy it up. Yeah, tell them John to the Ross.
That's too many glizzy mentions. P, how old is Kai now? Is Kai 2?
No, he's a year and like a month.
Okay. So no kiddie pool at the crib yet.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. Maybe next year, because that's like a rite of passage as a dad, that you have to buy like the little plastic Walmart $5-10 kiddie pool, and then you get some grass and shit and toys, and it's in the backyard. That's like a thing, bro.
That's the thing.
It's wonderful. I can't wait.
That's an American thing. You can really show that you're American by doing that, you know? We all gonna have to continue to ramp up our, American inning. So
Yeah, man. I'm gonna wear my King of the Hill shirts all month. It'll be great.
Well done. Well played.
All right, let's get into this shit. What are we talking about first, boyos?
Oh man, where do we want to start? What's been the most?
Let's start G.I. Joe because we have a special guest.
Oh, he's already backstage.
He's been backstage the whole time. That's why I was trying to wrap
Oh
this up.
my god! You never said that.
You didn't say anything.
You can't see him.
What better way to celebrate the 4th of July than kicking things off with G.I. Joe talk? And who better to have on than our man, Trav, from A Toy Kind of Mood podcast. Is he ready? Is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Trav Dog.
Trav Dog. Woo, 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 woo.
What's good, man?
I was like, man, fuck with politics. All right, but I do fuck with y'all, and I do fuck with G.I. Joe. So
yes, yes.
Moody.
How you been, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's a good way to kick off Comic-Con season and the 4th of July.
Yes, absolutely. How was your week?
It was good, man. We've been real busy, obviously, as more of a G.I. Joe channel. So the content's been flowing in, and it we'll get into it, I'm sure. But it's been Yo-Jo June's been a roller coaster for us, but it ended on a pretty nice icy note.
No doubt. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. How it's been like kind of all over the place. But yeah, where you want to start?
You tell me. What do you got? You got a presentation, a slide? What are we doing?
I mean, you tell me. Where can we? Where do you think we should pull from for showing off the G.I. Joe stuff?
I'm just gonna pull from.
I mean, we could get right into the cat because that's the immediate, and then we can go backwards maybe or something like that. Cool. Start from do the cat and then go from the beginning on for Yo-Jo June or whatever.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
So
and first of all, I don't met D. Walt before, David.
No, you know what? I was gonna say something, but how are you, man? It's nice to meet you, Travis.
Nice to meet you. I see D. Walt.
Travis.
What up?
I'll work up to Trav. You got to give him a proper name when you meet him for the first time.
I appreciate that. Trav is good. Trav Moody, I always go by. But D. Walt, are you a producer for Smith & Wesson, Black Moon? You know D. Walt.
I don't know. I do know Smith & Wesson though. Is he like one of their long-term producers? Long time. He's been with the group?
Like the Beat Miners is D. Walt and DJ Evil D.
Oh man, it's so crazy. So D. Walt has been my nickname for like the longest. It pre J-Lo. Like I remember when she started going by J-Lo, people started taking their first initial and the first part of their last name and flipping that. And but yeah, I wasn't familiar that the producer for Smith & Wesson, his name was D. Walt. I'm gonna go look him up.
Yeah. Old school. Before you were born, man. Before you were born.
Are you from B on your hat? Are you from Boston?
Yeah, I'm from Boston. So big, hip hop fan. Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. So.
Okay, I see you over there, man. Well, nice to meet you, bro. Are you do you post and do photography also in A.C.B.A?
No, I'm not a photographer. I'm more of just a host, and I do reviews on some toys, mostly G.I. Joe, but I fuck with like Jada and Marvel, all the stuff.
Fantastic, man. Thank you for being.
Are you gonna be at Comic-Con?
Not this year. It's funny that you asked that. Solid Snake hit me up today and was asking, am I going to be at the con? This year, my kid is a senior. So even though I'm still buying too much shit, I'm trying to like scale back a little bit because I got to be locked in for him in senior year. But 26 is my target year for the con.
Cool.
Your pilgrimage to Mecca, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to finally make it home. It's going to be great, though, to see a lot of people in person that I've known and chatted with over the years. And 26 is my time, brother.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So if you've been under a rock, G.I. Joe had the reveal of their latest and greatest HasLab offering, which was the Cat, the combat all-terrain vehicle. So Trav, tell us what's going on here.
Well, the first thing we should probably do is look and see how many backers there are. And it looks like they're kind of stuck a little bit, 6,206. So it hasn't really, it's kind of a little slower than usual.
Today's day 3.
Yeah. I mean, we're only less than 2,000 to make it, and they got 43 days, 42 days. So yeah, it'll happen. It's just not as fast as like the Rattler last year, backed in like a day, I think, one day.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll have this on display at SDCC, so that'll give it a big bump. I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
What did it get up to on the first day? And what's the first tier again?
Is the first tier, is it Lady J or Flint?
No, I meant the number. I didn't want to jump out too far. I meant
let's see. The
10,
first
000.
number
10,000 is Lady J. And then tier number 2 is
12 and 14.
10.
All right, so it's got to get to 10,000 backers for it to be a thing. Period. Right?
8.
8.
Oh, 8. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
8, and then and then Lady J 10, then 12 for the bivouac, and 14 for Flint. But we'll get into that.
Damn, you knew the proper term. I said a tent. What the is
man? I called that shit a bivacqua.
Damn, that was
a little baklava.
So the little tent thing is called a bivouac.
A bivouac. It's a station. Basically, it even says battle station on it, because that's what a bivouac is. It's just you set up camp and be prepared to be attacked.
All right. Well, I'm dying to hear your thoughts on this, knowing that G.I. Joe is your bread and butter, Moody. How are you feeling about
well, coming into the Snowcat, I never had it as a kid, which is crazy. I'm from New England.
That was going to be one of my questions, actually, too. If you
had
it as a kid.
I should have all the snow shit being from New England, but I didn't as a kid. It probably just came out before I was old enough, because I'm more like 88 to 90, and this was like 86, 85. So, but it turned out, fantastic. The thing is gorgeous compared to what that's the thing with this G.I. Joe team, is they'll tell you what they're gonna do, and you're like, and then they do it. Like this guy, right? Heavy Duty was never like a big time G.I. Joe, and this thing's a monster. I mean, it's a figure of the year nominee, at least in classified. So
I haven't opened it yet, but he's here somewhere.
Yeah, same thing with this. You know what I mean? It's like they killed it with the illuminated lights, the track, like the conveyor belt track on the ape, and then you could take out the turret, which is the best part, as you could see right on the screen. Take out that turret, make it a personnel carrier, like an APC as they called it in the 80s, and just the functionality of it, giving it some play. It looks pretty, and I never imagined this vehicle being that exciting, but they crushed it.
Yeah, I didn't have it like brand new as a kid. If I remember correctly, I had like a beat up like second or third hand one.
Nice.
But yeah.
Do the treads move on this?
Yeah, there's a picture. I don't know if you can go to one of them where you could see it on its bottom fours. Yeah, it's coming up right there. And see the suspension lifts up. And then yes, it does roll just like the his tank.
Nice.
Oh my god.
And this feature of this lift, where the front section lifts, did the OG toy do that? Because I don't think it did, right?
I don't think so. I didn't have it. You could ask Boog.
Listen, man, I don't remember, honestly. And again, the one that I had was so beat up that maybe it did that shit and didn't do it anymore. I don't know. I have no clue.
Interesting.
It was in bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments would know. But as far as I know, no, this is something new. I mean, that's what they're trying to do, is classify everything up, like classified in their 112 world, where they enhance everything that was OG and like that. They never had like the ramp and the APC and the turret coming out. That's for sure. That's new.
Yeah, which looks really good, by the way. It's interesting because I do think, for whatever reason, the Cobra HasLabs have done better, faster than I think the Joe vehicles always. I don't know why. People just gravitate, in my opinion, more toward Cobra.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about it like that, but yeah, I think you're right.
Well, we've only had one classified HasLab that's a good guys, right? It's the
The copter.
It's Dragonfly.
Dragonfly. But we did get 2 other vehicles.
His
from
tank
the
and
Joes. No, I mean for the Joes though. We did get the
the truck and the motorcycle.
Right.
Well, you mean as far as vehicles that aren't HasLabs, like the Vamp?
Yeah, the
Jeep?
Vamp. That's what I
Oh,
was.
the Vamp was like I mean, that shit sold out. Like that shit is impossible to find. So they made the Stinger, which was the Cobra one, and that was on a fan channel. But the Pulse Vamp was probably the most popular thing. What was it last year?
And
Of
it
Joe.
was selling for stupid money.
Yeah.
Which is actually the opposite of what I just said, because the Stinger, which is the Cobra repaint of the Vamp, is actually on clearance right now on Amazon.
But they made it more available, so your point stands, because it was only on Pulse against having it at everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. Makes sense.
So
got it.
I love that they incorporated the some of the old cartoon in this, man. I mean, old commercial, excuse me. Yeah, that was cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. I think part of it is, if it's going to be a HasLab, they want it to be something iconic, and showing the cartoon is just kind of evidence of the cartoon and the commercial, kind of where they didn't really do that before. So people are like, I don't care for this, whatever. But showing the commercial, showing the cartoon, having Cobra Commander do it, it just feels like it gets all the nostalgia feels with it, whether you had it or not.
How much was his tank again?
His tank was $299.99, I think.
Oh,
I think it was 300.
Okay. So
the Dragonfly was $275, and the Rattler was also $325.
Okay. All right. So it's on par with the Rattler in terms of the pricing.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, the Dragonfly was a bargain. I mean, you got four figures in that giant helicopter, because there's not a lot of plastic with the helicopter. It's just long.
Mhm.
But it still had the lighting. It still had like the hitch, for the jumper, the airborne guy. So it was great value. I think this is good value too overall, especially with a whole. I don't know if you got a picture of Lenny and all them with the bivouac, but that thing's like this big. It's gonna fit in a DTAL. Like it's
Yeah, you know what? I had a picture on my Instagram, P, of them with the cat in between 2 of the other vehicles, so you could see just how big it is.
Another thing, talking about the rollout that I really like, that looks fucking awesome. I had not seen that.
That's crazy.
That is huge. Yeah,
it's huge, man.
It's massive.
That's a Delt Tonka truck shit right there, man.
Yeah. Something I was gonna say about the rollout of the HasLab and how they are progressively getting better. Damn, that shit is huge. Is remember when his tank was rolled out and they had fucking accessories as the tiers, like different add-ons and weapons and shit that you could do,
like the shields for the tracks and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were so excited to just be getting his tank. We were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. But now I feel like they fleshed it out and like taken feedback from the community that we want to get figures, and that the accessories and add-ons and all of that shit should come base. Like that should come with the actual vehicle itself. And so they haven't done it since.
I'll ask you this, and whoever else wants the answer is, would you rather have had a figure or the bivouac, the whole play set, the camp set, or would you rather have a figure?
I've seen a lot of people say that they would buy the bivouac by itself. So having that as part of the whole project is, I think it's very lucrative. It's it's worth a lot. I think it's great.
Agreed. And they can repaint. They can give you a different, because they have, what is it, like a icy camo netting. Now they can make a jungle one. They could do so much with that. Just repacking it, Target exclusive, blah blah blah. Yeah,
they definitely could break that down and sell it alone. What am I looking at there? Is that some type of feature with the snow thing, or they were just?
That's a sticker. It's a clear sticker with the windshield, icy windshield.
Fire! Oh, that's fire. Okay.
Like vinyl that you can remove and take on and off.
I mean, it's going to be hard to take off, but you can eventually. It's a sticker, like a decal.
I thought it was actually like almost like a thin plastic film that you could just like put on there and take on and off. Now that would have been.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's a film, like a film decal.
Okay.
I don't know what the proper term.
Yeah.
I think they call it decals, but or sticker sheet.
Yeah.
You know what would have been crazy if this would have been temperature sensitive.
Ooh.
Now you're cooking with grease, brother.
I mean, that's a G.I. Joe thing. Like they
right.
Zartan.
Yeah, like Zartan.
Right.
He's
thing.
all blue.
That's actually just put like a hand towel in the freezer and then just wipe it over the thing. You don't even have to get it wet or anything like that.
Right.
Oh, wait. Who could hold on, Poncho?
So to answer your other question, Moody, I think that this is the perfect balance. I think that having the bivouac, or however you say it, included and having the two figures and the figures that they chose makes sense. As much as I want Iceberg, I think people would have complained that he would have been behind.
Okay, well, 100%.
And I saw a lot of people also saying that they wanted Quan, and I think that we'll get him, but I also think that he's too popular of a character to put behind a paywall like this. Whereas I vividly have memories of Flint and Lady J rocking this snow gear on multiple G.I. Joe. So it makes sense. It's exclusive. You're in it for the Snowcat, and these are just like bonuses.
And also the figure, the guy that you're getting with the base offering looks really fucking cool too.
Frostbite.
Yeah.
That's a name right there.
Yeah, G.I. Joe always killed it with the name.
The smiling face, the beard, the hat, everything just looks really good, man. It looks cool, man.
Yeah. This is it's given the Thing is that what the movie called? The Thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take a Kurt Russell head from Marvel Legends and pop on here and you in the game.
It's a lot of nice accessories too. You see the coffee mug there. Wasn't it like
Stanley Cup? The Stanley Cup.
The Stanley Cup. Wasn't it like another coffee can or something too included in one of these?
Yeah, some of the characters come with like a frying pan and with eggs in it. And
right, I did see that.
Because Lady J and Flint each have their own cups.
Oh, that's Lady J? Hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
And
I've seen a small pink vinyl purse around here.
This face sculpt for Lady J has also come a long way. This is far and away the best one.
Hey, Book, go to my IG and scan through the pictures. I think it would be a little easier to see the if you can.
Peace control everything.
Oh, all right. Sorry about that. Yeah, right in the middle. Back to the cat, and then if you scan through the pictures, there should be like close up to the figures. There you go. A little bit, a little easier to see.
Okay, so she's got the coffee cup.
She's got a little hand drill, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Little hand.
Yeah, the ice auger.
Yeah. Is that a ice fishing rod?
Ice rod, yeah.
Yep. Did you make the hole for the
That's pretty cool.
Ice, and then you got the rod. Damn, Machu.
That's exactly so much playability, man. It's crazy.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Machu. But I was like, I don't want to say it, and then people say that I'm dumb. That fucking guy over there that looks like in Soviet Russia, car drives you. This motherfucker looks like Yimbo. This shit looks just like Yimbo. I'm about to make him take a selfie with it at Comic-Con when we're there, because that shit looks just like that.
The last selfie series right here. You see it.
The last selfie series. Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
This is 3.0, man. This is the best one.
That's fun.
Yeah, these head sculpts look very, very good.
Sorry.
Oh my god. Wait. Pacho, hold on.
That's crisp.
While we flip back, how are you feeling about the pricing of this? $324. Do you feel like you're getting your money's worth if we only get the first tier? This is always the thing when it comes to HasLabs.
No.
Like, at what point is it worth your money?
There is no HasLab worth it if you don't get all the tiers. I was pissed when I got Giant Man and didn't get those scroll faces. Now, that was
man.
And that was some real minimal shit on top of it too.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a faceplate, and I was like, when I reviewed that, I was pissed off. Like people are like shilling and stuff. I get it. Like they got it early and they want to say something nice, and it was nice to have a Giant Man. But I was like, you didn't even reach all the goals. You're Marvel Legends. You should not be proud of this. You're the #1 brand in the company. What the
It was
fuck?
like 100 away, right? Like some super.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Really
I mean,
small number. Yeah,
they could have gave it to us, but then it sets a deadly precedent that people would just expect it and not back it. So.
But this is the thing that I don't get about Marvel Legends collectors, bro. And again, I'm not shitting on Marvel Legends collectors because I am a Marvel Legends collector. But what I don't understand is we were 100 or so backers away from it being fully funded. I ordered an extra Giant Man and just sold it like last week for double the price of what it was at retail. And that's kind of the going rate right now for Giant Man is like 400 plus.
Yep, 400
plus. Why? Like why? You could have had this just like you're buying it now.
You couldn't give them away a year ago. Like there was no second market for a few months after he got him, which is the opposite of like the Rattler right now. You know, the Rattler's hitting at $600 on eBay. The Giant Man, you can get almost retail. Like people are like, oh, I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, but and I knew it was going to be a waiting game because once those initial I'm stuck with it brought up.
Yep. Smart.
And it doesn't make it still does not. And to me, I feel like this only happens primarily with Legends. Like none of the other HasLabs experience this because their value, their return on investment is right when it hits. Right when it hits. And I think the only one we've seen this for, I'm going to take it back a step because there's always a little gray area, as P would say. Nothing is always black and white. The Sentinels definitely had a return on investment when you got those in because those skyrocketed in value, as did Galactus.
Yeah.
But Giant Man, I don't know why it struggled as much as it did. Maybe people were still feeling some kind of way post Engine of Vengeance. I don't know.
Yeah, that could have been it. It could have been some grudges being held there with Giant Man. But yeah, I'm definitely with Trav as far as like no HasLab being really 100% worth it unless you get everything that it's intended to come with.
Yeah, fair.
A cool segue right there based on what you guys are talking about. The Sentinel 97. I see G.I. Joe following the footsteps of Marvel with that and Dragon Man and doing like some vehicles that are not quite as big as this, but not, too big for retail, doing the open order thing, like 150, like the Thunder Machine for Dreadnoks. Do that with Thrasher. You don't have to include stretch goals, doesn't have to have lights, nothing crazy, just a big, nice truck for your Dreadnoks and open order for 40 days and everyone's happy.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. That'd be cool.
I would love that. I would also love for you to circle back and maybe list out a few more vehicles that you think could fall into that realm. But hearing you say that makes me then want to question you on what would you want to be the next HasLab then after the Snowcat.
Okay, cool. I've always wanted the Moray, the hydrofoil Cobra Moray, and they have to go back to Cobra. But there's been a lot of rumors about the boats, like stuff about legal restrictions, something about they can't come out with the boat because because they're a 4 and up brand, despite selling to only 40 plus. They're a 4 and up brand. So something about the boats being in water, having to float upside down. There's a lot of like weird legalese rumors about the boats, and that's why we haven't gotten any yet, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Like the whole thing about potential of having kids playing around water.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it has to do with maybe the batteries, lighting. There's legal reasons with toys. Remember, these are still 4 up. So
interesting.
There's some weird shit with the boat. So I don't know why. So they may never do a boat, but that's what I would want.
G.I. Joes have been bathtub toys forever. It's not like kids are taking them.
Yeah, but we live in a different time now. Like they got rules and shit against like selling balloons to kids these days. Like you can't just be a kid. I think you have to have like an adult with you to buy balloons at Party City and shit before they go.
Interesting.
So here's the thing though. Would your workaround for that be what you just proposed about the made to order? and make like, because the Moray is still small enough that it
no,
could, not the
that
Moray
boat's like,
I'm thinking of Copperhead's boat. What is that one called?
Oh, yeah, that's the same size as that Fortnite boat. Everybody was buying that on clearance at Ross, making customs on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is twice that size, the Moray, and it has a devilfish with it. Yeah,
let me look it up.
It's crazy. Yeah, if you could look that up if you want.
What's it called?
But that's yeah. But you know, the song Land, Sea, and Air. We haven't gotten much sea.
We haven't gotten much sea. Right.
Yeah.
It's actually funny that you bring up the Fortnite boat, because doesn't Hasbro make the Fortnite toys?
Right, but there could be different restrictions for G.I. Joe than Fortnite. Fortnite's more for kids. I don't know what it is. To be honest, it's a bunch of stuff that it's just stuff I hear. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, that'd be definitely a good question to ask the team.
Absolutely.
Diego, for sure.
But they don't want to talk about future products. Every time you ask them about anything in the future, they go, we can't talk about. So you have to like find a way around. Maybe ask them right directly. Is there a legal thing against boats? Instead of, are you getting a moray? Say, is there a legal restriction with boats right now? And is there something we can do? That's a good
Lenny,
question.
what the fuck you got against boats, man?
Hilarious. This moray hydrofoil looks like it would be a perfect ass party yacht for Pimp Destro. Like a totally weaponized yacht with like him and the Baroness on it. Like, that's exactly the first thing that comes to mind for me. That's crazy.
Well, now that you can see the dreadnoughts in it, you could see in Destro and Baroness, you could see the size of it. Because think about those figures as 1/12 scale. Think about how big this is now.
How big it would be, yeah, for sure. It would be huge.
If you do this, then you got to do the whale.
The whale's even bigger.
The whale is bigger. But that was always one of my favorite vehicles from G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But good question. Yeah, I would want this to be, or just to go into like full scale, like do a Cobra Terradrome, but obviously not the whole thing, because that would take up like, a whole room, but like a part of it. We've always talked about like do it and like make a section of it as a whole, like a base, like a base.
Mean, you know what? You wouldn't even. I think what they could do with the Terradrome is just do like just some inner working of it, like some type of computer room or something like that, as like a play set, though. Like, you know what I mean? So that could actually be to scale, but it's just a room inside of the complex. You know what I mean?
Yep. Or if you did 1/3 of it or 1/4 of it, if someone wants to buy 3 parts and make the entire Terradrome, that's up to them. But you don't have to force people to have this massive thing. If you do 1/3, 1/4 of it at like, say, what is it, $300 we're paying for this stuff, $350. Then if someone really wants to spend $1,000 and build the whole Terradrome, they can. But some people can just pay $300 and get a nice base that'll fit, in most playrooms.
Just saying, the Terradrome should not be a pipe dream, because in my man cave right now is sitting the fucking cat's lair.
Cat's lair. I saw a really cool picture with that cat's lair the other day, like a toy photography picture. That was really cool.
I never thought we would have a 6-inch scale cat's lair ever, and the fact that it exists, to me, anything is possible, bro.
No doubt. Let's double back to and just wrap up the tiers with the the cat, though.
Yep.
Yeah, was it anything with the bivouac that we didn't go over?
It's so funny to hear that word. I've never heard.
Well, I just want to touch on the first one real quick, Lady J. I think this is a home run. I mean, we saw the closer picture. The face scan is exactly like it is in the Sunbow, and I think with the 80s glam and everything, and then giving all these characters a secondary head. I think they were thinking about us with our retros that we paid for and didn't care for the faces, right? So we didn't care for the face of Lady J, and now you could just pop that head off, give her the knit hat one with this, and then now you have your retro Lady J. You don't have to buy a new one. And then same thing with, I think the Flint retro that's coming out already has a good face, but you'll have an extra one, like
right.
It's good to have these you
The
know, we'll talk
variety,
about Jada Toys,
playability.
how we'll talk about Jada Toys, how they come up with like the player 1 face that comes with player 2 and all that. So this is kind of like that in a way, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
indirectly.
yeah, we've been calling it the DLC basically.
Love that. Yeah, but anyway, this is a home run first tier. Yeah.
Can we go to the? There we go to the Baba Whack.
The bivouac, baby. And you know what? If you don't mind, there is a super chat that is about the bivouac.
Okay, let's hear
it. Shout out to Jason S, who's been active as hell tonight in the comments. Shout out to Jason S. Says, hope we're gonna address how both Hasbro and Four Horsemen both drop plastic weenies, skillets, and campfires in the same week. What's going on? Some sort
of what's happening?
Energy there?
It's 4th of July, baby. That's
true. On brand.
Yesterday they had their like wave reveal stream or whatever, and I saw that they have something similar to this. It's like an accessory pack of like a fire and like a skillet and food and shit. Like
interesting.
It's the summertime, man. They got these people out here turning up the barbecue. Shout out to Hank Hill.
Yeah, shout out to Jason S. Appreciate the super chat.
Thank you so much.
This shit is huge too, by the way. This is like you looking at this right now, and you're like, yeah, it's a little 10 or whatever. But nah, this shit is huge, man.
Is there a photo of it similar to how they had that secondary photo of the snowcat?
It should be I mean, I guess you could probably. I would think somebody screen capped some of the stream where they actually brought this out and was really showing how huge it is, or you could go to the stream from the other day. Maybe
there is a picture of it where you could see like just how big this shit is, but I don't know where that
because seeing that, I hate to keep going back to this and how huge this shit is, but seeing that other photo of it between the other two vehicles, none of the photos do this justice of how big this is.
Yeah,
I have a question. Can I'm on StreamYard right now I have the slide in front of me. Is there any way I can present it or no?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hell
Do I have access? It's not letting me right now.
Well, I think he's gotta enable it for you.
I just have to approve it. So just it won't let you do it at all.
No, I'm saying I could see my slideshow, but it's like faded out and it says remove from studio. That's
okay,
it. It's like it's just chilling there.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But yeah, I think they picked the right figures for this. I mean, what else could they have offered with this?
This is also very big. And is that soft goods that it's made out of?
Yeah.
The softest.
There you go.
That shit is big as hell. That's just as big as Kenny's chest.
Big. Damn, that's a solid ass tier.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just like I think they undervalued this shit, honestly.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they're definitely going to flip this and make that shit like you were saying, Moody, with like the mesh and like the leafy camouflage. That's kind of like how you wear. What is the suit called that you wear that makes you look like
the ghillie suit?
The ghillie suit.
The Chris Hansen special. So yeah, this is this exceeds a lot of expectations right here. I was wondering if y'all gonna pick up on that. That shit looks really good.
Look at that face sculpt. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Much better. Damn. The best one we have.
That scowling face with the headphones on is incredible.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
And again, I know that you guys mentioned it earlier, but shout out to the Joe team just for fleshing out these worlds with playability. Because if you're like actively collecting this line, the amount of accessories that you have right now for your classifieds is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is they not only fleshing out the G.I. Joe world, but a lot of the shit that they've been putting out as of late can go into any world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll double back and talk about the cops again, and you know, the Navy SEALs and
people are getting in the firefighters right now.
Yeah, the desert troops, all of that type of stuff. That's like super universe world building for whatever. You know, DC, Marvel, it doesn't matter. So, like, you know, even the Frostbite here, like, you know what I mean? Like that looks like a normal, like, Russian
guy, Soviet Russia car drives you. Yeah, come on, man.
So
you have to use it for G.I. Joe.
What's also fascinating, and I know that for anybody who's like an old head G.I. Joe collector, is the amount of real estate right now that your G.I. Joe collection is taking up.
Yeah, 100%.
Thinking about like, because if you display your G.I. Joes the way that I'm planning to display mine, is that all of my snow team people are together. You know what I'm saying? Like all of my aerial trooper,
all the dreadnoughts, all the Night Force,
Yeah.
all the Tiger Force.
As you're thinking about how this shit is placed, like your desert troops, your sniper team, your recon team, your jungle team, like you said, your Tiger Force team, that shit takes up a lot of space right now.
A lot of space, yep.
Especially if you're army building and I'm looking behind me, like Crimson Troopers, you got like some people buying 4. I only usually buy 2 to 4, but some people will buy 20.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
We've talked about on that here before. How many figures does it take for you to what I actually want to hear this from you. What do you consider the army number? If I have this many, I have army built this section. What is your magic?
I mean, it used to be 4, but now that we're lacking space, if you get 2, that's good. It's starting to be like stormtrooper
stuff out here, man.
A better question would be, ideally, if you had the space for it, what do you think would be
a toy mansion?
Like a solid number for any troopers.
I mean, when I read the G.I. Joe comics, they really don't have that many. It's more about the variety because they're still selling toys and still selling characters. So like when you read G.I. Joe, even just the regular Real American Hero issues, they'll have one Toxo Viper with one regular, like a couple of the regular Viper, Cobra Vipers, and then Hydro Viper. Like they mix it up. So I don't really see like the cartoon would have 20 Cobra Troopers because they didn't have as much to show in the cartoon as they can in a comic book.
A huge task to animate.
It depends, yeah. If you're in the Sunbow world, you'll want 20, 30 Cobra Troopers. But then if you're reading the comic, you might see like 2 or 3 in the panel. Then it's not like 20 of them. So yeah, it's up to you. It's your world.
Yeah. I think my magic army number is 5. Because I always feel like that extra one from 4 to 5.
5 is solid, yeah. When the original Red Ninjas came out, I got 5.
I think 5 is
always
I think 5 is solid for photography.
Safe number.
Solid, right?
Yeah. It's a safe number.
It's that of the 5th that makes it an army. If it was a 4, it's just the crew. Yeah. But once you add that 5th dude, it's like, we deep.
It's a glorified.
I think that's a great point. But here's the curveball: if you mess with third party. Like we fuck with Gridiron Studios and they come out with all these different loadouts for different troopers and army builders and different guns. So if you gridiron the fuck out of your classifieds, then you need like at least 5, like you're saying, because then you'll have 2 regular Hasbro ones, and then you have the ones with like the skull masks and the saw guns and the extra, all the extra shit. So yeah,
I got it.
5's good.
I gotta tighten up my crack recipe though. If I'm gonna start buying gridiron,
right?
That shit it's amazing, but the gridiron shit will have you like in debt because it is
it's $50 for a loadout. What is it? Twice as much for a loadout as it is for one figure.
It's crazy.
It's a luxury for sure,
right? Yeah, it's 100% a luxury, but it's addictive because when you load out one, because I wanted to get the loadout for Alpine, and I was like, don't do it, man, because you're gonna fuck around and try to do this for every character.
Go down the rabbit hole. That's how it is. That's how it is. But I don't want to spend too much time on just this. Tell us more about Yojo June and some of the hiccups that they had and what was going on there.
Cool. I actually got the Yojo Jun slides too, I think. Yeah, here we go. Oh, let's see. I removed this one. I can't add the next one. I guess that's up to Pancho.
Hold on 1 second.
Do a peachy.
While you flip this, you know what? That the last image we saw was of those eggs in the skillet. This 100% makes me think that we're going to get a cooking loadout for Roadblock.
That'd
like
be cool.
A cooking accessory.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be really cool.
I can see
it. Makes 100%. Because Chef Roadblock,
Chef.
So,
oh, you know what we do have? Oh wait, you go, Travis. You go.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we had a super chat just in case we were moving on.
Yeah, read it.
Said from Red Foreman. Shout out to Red Foreman. What a great character. Anyone took the extra red mask from the Rattler Gunner to put it on the Retro Trooper to make a classic Marvel Cobra Trooper? Is that doable? That's a thing?
Shout out to you for even having your Rattler in.
I didn't even think about that.
That is interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That is crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Jen Yamada X. He actually showed me pictures of his Rattler that he got in.
Did you watch the review?
Nah, I can't bring myself to watch it. Looking at the pictures, man. Damn.
Hey, Moody, I keep telling Bug that if he watches, because he didn't get the Rattler. I didn't get it either. I got to buy mine on the secondary, but he said that he's trying to fight it by not watching the review that the Joe team put up. And I told him that shit is going to be calling to him, man. Like,
yeah.
Shout out to a San Diego legend, Genya. We do have another super chat that we missed earlier from our very own Shelf Presence. Thank you so much, Shelf Presence. Says hey gents, happy 4th. I backed the big ass kitty. Hell yeah, man. Nice. I never doubted you for a second, Shelf Presence. It's in your name. Thank you to everybody who's given super chats today. This is all going towards the road to Comic-Con, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Very close.
Fast approaching. It's unreal.
Gotta pay for those fish tacos.
I'm saying, yeah. We got another super chat from our very own Bo Big Baby. Incredibly generous super chat again. No message in the super chat, but we see him active every week anyways, and we'll be reading it out. Thank you so much, Bo
Your
Big.
silence speaks volumes, sir.
Yeah, man. The silence behind the violence himself, Bo Big Baby. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, Yo Joe June. Take it away.
So there was a lot of nicknames. Yo Joe June Gloom, No Joe June, Marvel Legends June. People were pissed off. People were pissed off because, and week 1 was all right, but it was more like there were no reveals. It was more just pre-orders of stuff they had already shown, right? But we were like content with that. We ordered a bunch of stuff, and then this lit up our world because it lit up the whole collector world. You don't even have to like Joe's to like this, like you mentioned. So, but then shit went down, so they skipped it. I think we'll still get it. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. We'll get it eventually. It'll probably just shadow drop, right?
Right.
I just noticed they're reusing the coffee cup here.
Yes.
Good call.
I missed that before. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of? We talked about to death on our show, but what do you guys like?
We all love this.
These cops.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now it's not. Although you do get the cap, it's really for riot gear cops, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna really make this into like a regular patrol cop. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it still.
Yeah.
Does the vest come off? Have we seen anybody remove the vest and show what's under?
We don't. These are all leaked pictures. They never talked about it, so we haven't seen anything.
I was gonna say, where are you at with all these rumors? Everybody keeps asking me just because we have a show and whatnot, but I have no idea. Everybody's saying that like it's really strange that this was shown and that it didn't go up for pre-order. Where are you at on that, Trav?
No, I mean they didn't put it up for pre-order because of all the stuff going on in California.
Yeah. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah. And I think they'll wait it out. They put money into it and people want it. And I think now more people are going to want it than ever. This was almost like a strange marketing thing.
Yeah, there's going to be no way around the very unique and on the nose displays that are going to come with these anyway. So I mean, they're delaying the inevitable. Really, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I was like, this is the best figure of the week and we can't buy it.
I don't mind the wait on this because we've seen it. We're all happy with it. Yep. And to be honest, because we're all buying this in multiples, all I need to know is the date. Right. Because what I don't want to do is have this shit go up on Amazon and I miss it because this is going to sell out.
For sure.
So I just need to make sure that I secure the quantity that I'm getting, and I'm cool with the wait, knowing that this is something I'm going to get a few of. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Like let's
There'll be a lot of outlets like that have this stuff. So that's while there's a lot of curiosity. I mean, Big Bad will have it, Entertainment Earth will have it. You can get it from Australia. Like they're gonna be everywhere. Like Pulse will have it, Amazon will have it. I mean, eventually, I don't know if Target and Walmart, because that could get weird, right? I don't know, but they could.
I'm surprised this wasn't a Walmart exclusive.
Oh my god!
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the vest comes off.
Yeah, but it's not going to be any new sculpt if it does. Like
I haven't shown any picture with it off though. And all the photography, there was no picture with it off, as far as I remember.
The only reason I'm saying that is because I think that it might be a better option to have the vest off when you put the poncho on, but I don't know. That might not be true.
Well, the last, what was it? The infantry. Who's the one who had the poncho? You couldn't take the vest on.
You couldn't take anything off of those. Yeah, that's and it sat nicely still, even with it. So.
Yeah. So again, before we flip real quick, one thing I was excited about Moody, and I told this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, was the Joe team always does a really good job of making sure that they have female counterparts to their male like builders like this. So I'm really excited when we get the female cop. That'll be really cool too, to kind of build out your police squad. I don't know if it'll come with the same riot gear, but kind of like how they did the Valkyries, it'll be exciting to see what they do with that release.
I wouldn't guarantee that, because the only female we got in this kind of series is a sniper, and there was no male sniper. It was just a female sniper.
But we've gotten the female Cobra Trooper, haven't we?
Well, I'm saying this is the Legacy series, just like the other ones were the 60th anniversary series. So it's kind of like a separate from, they're not G.I. Joe characters. Does it make sense?
It does. I see what you're saying. Like these are supposed to be based on like real world, like operatives, professions, right?
Right. And they did make a woman with a sniper. And then that became controversial in the military community, because they're like, there was only one female sniper and she like didn't do anything. And now they're making the one sniper a woman. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. The figure's great. Right?
That's really unheard of. These military guys getting upset about that. I can't believe that community.
I know, man. What the hell? Unbelievable.
This fictitious toy line isn't accurate.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that there was controversy around that. I'm not surprised. I just
would love a female officer, but I think they're never going to make a police officer after this whole thing went down. I think they're stuck with this, and they're going to stay away from anything unless it's Shockwave. They're done.
Right.
Like what I don't understand it though. Like I do understand it to an extent of right now that like the block is hot, right? But this is still a figure that would be in high demand. Just
look, the G.I. Joe team would want to, but the $1 billion corporation, they're going to $1 billion corporation. They're going to do it. It's all PR. So
I was about to say it's a PR nightmare right now. So
yeah, they're not. They're done with this. They're going to make the fire maybe an EMT, and that they'll get out of this and just stick with Joe's. That's just me. Hey, I may hope the female EMT. Who doesn't want to date a female EMT?
Right.
Talk about, man. Perfect heart attack favor.
All right. So what else we got next?
These are just like highlights of Yo Joe June, so not every figure, just a handful. And man, Budo. I mean, this is another guy, Boog, right? You don't even have to like Joe's, and this fits right in whatever Ghost of Tsushima or anything.
Yep.
Predator.
Very nice. And like we've been saying, G.I. Joe with all of the modular, parts and accessories and things like that. It's wonderful, man. You basically got 2 or 3 figures in one right here,
100%. Yeah. And that's it. I think you just nailed it. There's really not much to add other than, they classified him up because he was just kind of a goofy 80s samurai character that he was kind of niche. And now he can appeal to anybody. You want that old school Ghost of Tsushima, whatever. Or you want the modern day tactical samurai. He fits right in. He's dynamite. This is another contender for classified figure of the year, I think.
Also, the head sculpts are really nice as well.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Being a fully decked out samurai with whatever type of submachine gun or automatic gun that is to the side changes all of the play ability of Ghost of Tsushima. Like that is really something that I never thought I would see. But I don't know guns like that. But whatever that gun is to the right, all of Ghost of Tsushima changes if you have that in the game.
Yeah. Hall of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Cool.
This was very controversial.
It was controversial because, you know, you look at that picture on the left and everybody started calling him Little Merc because, you know, Mercer's popularity right now is in believe it or not, the most niche medium of all geekdom, right? Is like comic books, at least one of them. And the Energon universe, Mercer is such a hot item, and he's Colossus size. Literally, take your Colossus Marvel Legend, that's Mercer.
Yeah, he's a tank.
And this guy's Flint size Mercer, or Falcon size Mercer, but this is based on the O-ring figure. They already prepared this right when Energon started or before Energon started. So that's the result. They don't have time to turn around like that, you know.
But Mercer was bigger than this in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Well, he wasn't the biggest out of the Marauders.
It could go either way, honestly. Yeah, it's hard to tell in a cartoon. There's pictures of him and he's next to Falcon and they're the same size. Then there's pictures of him over somebody. He looks like a giant. It's a cartoon and from the 80s. It's not accurate.
Yeah.
Based on this alone, Falcon was not being intimidated by this dude. Like he straight up would have mushed him in his forehead and been like, "Shut the fuck up."
I mean, also the starter figure is pretty big too. Like it's not like he's tiny. He's but yeah.
Where is this look from for the Sarge?
So it's from I'm gonna probably have the year wrong, but 2004 Collectors Club. Now I was not involved in that, but just from doing the show so many times, you tend to learn these things on the fly. But the 2004 Collectors Club, like a desert Sergeant Slaughter, and then that cap that you got there is like the turncoat, from WWE, and then they made a Cobra. Forgot the name. Last year at Joe Fest, they were doing a custom class, like a Cobra version of Sergeant Slaughter, and he had that cap, and he was decked out in that kind of like maroon red with the desert, and so this is kind of like a pitch to that, I think.
That was during the Gulf War, right? Like when he was supposed to be like, how the WWE does, but I think that was like during the Saddam era or whatever.
Turncoat Sarge, yeah, like pro Saudi.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this is just one of the things. It was controversial, and then a lot of people forgot we got another big vehicle in the line. So Ostriker, and we spoke about Gridiron, and I think Gridiron is starting to inspire them in a good way, and just kind of not necessarily just replicate what we had in the 80s, but make it modular. We talk about modular, right, with everything, Joe, and now you can add a cage in the back, add a turret. It looks more current, more classified, and I think some of the third-party companies are
I was about to say, I'm sure Gridiron is going to have some loadouts for this too.
Yep. Didn't they change up the design of this a little bit? Didn't they shift after some feedback of the front tires? Am I right in that?
You might be right. It's hard to tell. Some of the digital renders, I don't have it here, but they're small, and then some of the photography, they're big. So we think so, but we won't know until it hits. Because remember, they never did a video of this. That's the problem with week 2 of Yojo June, is it's one thing with the cop, right? Fuck the cop, fucking edit him out of the video, but they chose not to. They just skipped the whole week, had pre-orders, and didn't communicate with their fan base about everything. And then the next week, it's comic books, which pissed off a lot of people. Not me, but a lot of people. They just showed not this one. This one. This is it. It was a whole week of Yojo June for week 3. Was this 2-pack that we already knew about from, what was it, New York Comic Con or New York Toy Fair? And then they talked to a guy about comic books. Most people don't care. I did, but I'm saying it was that whole middle month for Yojo June was a nightmare, PR wise.
Interesting.
Yeah. So see, this was the original photo that they showed, and this is where the tires look a lot smaller.
Yeah. I see that.
And they tried to say like this is there. People explained it. They were like, well, there's a reason why, maneuverability in the sand and blah blah blah. This is a dune buggy. But then on a lot of the other photos that have been shared, the tires look like they're the same size and they match.
Yeah.
But it may just be the angle. It may just be like some photo tricks. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. But yeah, this looks great. I like that they added, they it looks different than what we had as a kid, but it still pays homage to it. And you could take the cage off in the back, you could take the seat out, and you could take all those, you don't have to apply all those extra stickers, and it'll look like if someone has to be strictly 80s, you can get it with this.
Yeah. I like that.
Can we go back to that 2-pack for a second? Yeah. So something that I
saw,
this one would so something that I saw with this quick kick was a lot of people were saying that this job looks like Billy from Predator.
It does.
And people were really digging that they were like, yo, I don't even want this to be a fucking quick kick. I want this to be like part of the Arnold Schwarzenegger's crew from Predator that looks just like Billy before he challenged the Predator to a fight.
Yep. The scars are from Bruce Lee, though. I think it's Enter the Dragon. The scars. But you're right. It's an amalgamation of Billy and Bruce.
Yeah, but it looks pretty cool though.
Night Force is sick.
You picking this up? Are you a completist with this line? Like you get everything?
Completionist. Yep. Absolutely. I don't skip anything.
So
I think that's all I got.
Where's your
all I got?
Rattler right now.
What's up?
I said, so where's your Rattler right now?
You know more than I do. I do want to shout out Toy Optics on YouTube. He's one of my guys on A Toy Kind of Mood, Dave Speck. His buddy got the Rattler, so he doesn't even have the Rattler yet. And his buddy got it and gave it to him to, they were gonna flip it, like exchange Rattler. So he did the first review of the Rattler, lucky bastard, with his 15,000 views. And I got the complimentary review the figure video, which did nothing, but it was great that I was able to get the figures in hand and mess with them. I do have a slideshow for that too, but we don't have to get into it if you don't want.
I saw a picture of a toy photography picture that somebody took with that Baroness. She looks amazing. She looks great.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. I think I have it right here. Okay, we can remove this one. Let me see if I can pull that Baroness right here, and then we'll be done with Yojo June, to be honest, if I can pull this one. Oh, good. I have it right here.
Okay, hold on.
So last one, Pancheezy, promise.
That's fine. Hold on 1 second.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm sure the G.I. Joe display at Comic-Con is going to be crazy, man.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It's going to be nuts, bro. I really, really, really love the way this Wild Weasel looks. This whole loadout is great. Like this, I'm kicking myself for not getting the Rattler.
Oh, you didn't back it? You didn't get the Rattler?
I don't know why I didn't. I don't know what was going on with me at that time. But now I got to play the game to try to find one on the secondary market and not.
But I love talking about that with you guys because I always did too, right? One to pay for the other one. But now with this whole distribution, and I'm 30, 45 minutes from where they get it. Nothing, no notification. All the other HasLabs, all of them, Star Wars, Marvel, I got them in the first week or second week because they usually come out of California, like Chino or Gardena. This one there's people in New York that got it, people in Utah, all over the country. It's scattered, it's random, it doesn't go by name, it doesn't go by when you bought it. Some guy said he funded it on the last hour, he got his on the first day. Doesn't matter your name, there's people A that got it, Z that got it. It's just a random crapshoot. So I'm not gonna gamble getting 2 snowcats and then I'm last and then I'm stuck with a second one. No one wants to buy it.
My guy Genumata X is in Cali too. So again, but that just speaks to what he's saying. This is all over the place.
So these all look really good. This Baroness head sculpt is probably the best one out of all the ones we've got.
She's a dream. Yep. I don't have Crystal Ball yet. He's coming in this weekend, but other than Crystal Ball and Heavy Duty, Xandar, I mean, this is another classified figure of the year, and I never thought a Baroness would be, but they went all new. It reminds me of the Black Widow buck I couldn't believe they gave us
Yeah,
a whole
I'm
new
looking
look.
at the lower body and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that looks.
I was gonna say they made her as thick as Black Widow. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good, man.
That's another one I have to get on the secondary market because
she's going for 125. 125.
I was going to say Crystal Ball. I can't even. Yeah, that's crazy. Because Walmart messed up my pre-order on him. I hate Walmart exclusives, bro. I swear to God, I do.
No way. You too?
Yeah.
Everybody hates
everybody. Yeah, they messed me up on my pre-order for them. That's why I told you, Book, don't fuck with them on your.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't. All right, let's get out of G.I. Joe. Where we want to go next?
Cool. I'm done. But yeah, it's Will Weasel.
Yeah, that looks great.
Well, I'll just say overall for Yojo June, it was a roller coaster ride, and they came through at the end with back-to-back HasLabs in the last 2 weeks, and went from a very mid Yojo June, a disappointing Yojo Gloom, Nojo whatever, to being like pretty fucking good. I mean, they gave us 2 home run HasLabs, one whether we got it at home or an unboxing, and then the Snowcat. So they have found their momentum for Comic-Con. So very excited for what Joe has to offer in San Diego.
Yeah, same here. Okay, where you guys want to go next? We want to stay in Hasbro and talk Legends a little bit.
What did Legends happen with Legends? What happened with Legends?
I mean, one of the only things that I can think of right now is that they showed the like final product pictures for Dragon Man.
Oh yeah. Dragon Man is looking insane.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Gave him the glasses.
Yeah. So
real quick, as P pulls up the Dragon Man pics, do we get a Tiger Force Snowcat? Yay or nay?
Tiger Ray, yay.
Interesting.
And they tipped off an Arctic Hiss, so I think they're gonna reuse these molds, throw away the LEDs and all the extras, and give us the bare bone 120, 130, maybe 140. Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah, maybe they'll do your idea and do it as kind of like that made to order type shit.
Maybe. It's not my idea. It's Marvel. It's Dan, Dwight, and Ryan's idea.
Yeah, I like how they're doing with this Dragon Man. Yeah,
that's right.
Segue life. So yeah, this went up for pre-order, and it was this was only on Pulse, right? It was a Pulse exclusive, basically.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how long ago it went up. Has it been a year
ago?
It's been
over a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe longer than that.
So yeah, we only saw digital renders basically of this. So this is our first like solid look at the figure, look at the paint job, look at the details and everything. And when they first showed off the render, I was like, man, I hope it comes with more stuff, and I hope it comes with glasses and like a little book or something like that. And they came through. He's got the little spectacles. He's got the book. The obviously this thing is massive. It's a lot larger than your original Toy Biz Dragon Man. If you had that, they did give him some extra hands. That was another concern of mine. I would have liked to see one more set though, like fully like splayed or something like that. Would have been cool.
Yeah,
Jack's hands. But you got 2 sets of wings. We knew that was going to be the case, right? Did they show that from the beginning?
Yeah, they did. People talked about how one set had the like little fleshy skin dragon wings.
Right. But the other set did. Correct. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I do think that they could have given us one more set of hands and maybe another set of wings. But it looks great. It looks very, very good, man. Where are you guys with your like other like Fantastic Four offerings, like Franklin and the sister? Did you ever get that too back?
Valeria,
yeah.
And yeah, I got it.
I was doubling back for it. I don't even want to say now because I don't want it to disappear.
Damn, the bug effect.
I did not get the new Fantastic, but it's really not even the new Fantastic Four. That Spider-Man and the
yeah, I didn't get that either. I've been eyeing it and waiting for it to drop down in price though.
Yeah, but I do think with the movie coming out, Dragon Man coming out, they have all the molds to do it now because we have a variety. Actually, to be honest with you, I feel like the Marvel versus Capcom Wolverine is a better mold to use to put him in the true second Fantastic Four team, blue and black.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I have a feeling that we will get that team probably as like I could see it as a exclusive, either the Pulse or at a con. I could see it as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for next year.
Is the jaw hinged on this?
Yeah, it's got to be.
It is. Okay. All right, cool.
Looks like it. So here's a question. Is everybody on here getting this? I don't think P, you're getting this, right? You're not fucking with this.
I don't even know who this is.
It's Dragon Man, baby.
What's next? Spider-Man? Shut up.
So the question is, given that I think this is all new sculpt, all new everything, what can be done next with this body so
with
they can
some of these parts? Yeah,
a return on.
I'm thinking that they could do what's the lion looking dude that was part of
Griffin?
Yes. Maybe they could use some parts for Griffith, whatever his name is, Griffin.
I can see that. I can see it. Given the scales on the upper torso and the legs. Maybe a new, bigger Abomination.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Or A-Bomb. Because we still have not gotten an A-Bomb.
Yeah, we never got A-Bomb.
Good for an Abomination?
For the size and for it to go well with the new Maximum Hulk, yes.
I think size-wise it's good, but like proportion-wise, I feel like maybe he needs to be a bit more barrel-chested for Abomination.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
But I mean, they could change the chest. They could change the chest and then have everything else be
true.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody Spidal is saying Andy the Amazing Android with new arms and legs.
That's a deep cut. A lot of people going to Google right now. But yeah, I can see it.
Trav, you getting this?
Yeah. So what's crazy is I don't have any Fantastic Four figures because I didn't.
Really?
Blasphemy.
It came during the time with that. What was that retro carded one? It came during the time where I was like, should I get the Mezco one or should I get this? Because the Mezco set looked so amazing. Despite I know, shout out to Fabio. That's my 4th of July plans. I'm actually hanging out with Fabio tomorrow. We're having a cookout.
Nice.
So shout out to Fabster. But I know he was saying, oh, the Invisible Woman is didn't he say it was the outdated buck on that one?
Yeah, it was.
So it was outdated. And then it just the price. I was like, I don't want to spend $500 on this set. So then by then I still didn't care for the retro ones. And I was like, all right, I'm going to wait. And I don't know, is it like, are we stuck with that set that came out, what was it, 2 years ago? Or do you think they'll do more based on the movie that we'll get more comic figures now?
Oh, for sure. With the movie, they're going to double back and do
everybody.
The uniforms that we got through Walmart exclusives, basically, they'll double back and do that pinless and like brand new. It's going to happen for sure.
So I'm in a good spot then. I got this guy, and then I don't have to just go right in hot.
Yeah, I will go ahead and get the Valeria and Franklin at some point and scoop that up because you also need the little dude that comes with them, the head. What's that guy's name again, Dave?
Who are you talking about?
The little dude that comes with Franklin and Valeria.
Oh, the little yellow head dude, from the Future Foundation.
Yes.
I forget his name off the top of my head though.
Also, we never got Future Foundation looks for Fantastic Four either, so I'm sure that'll be coming at some point. They're gonna probably go Fantastic Four crazy.
They gotta go in with the movie. The hype is real. Yeah.
To be honest, I could honestly see that being the next Fantastic Four release, especially given that Dragon Man drops. These new body molds, I 100% could see them doing the Future.
That gives them another excuse to do another Spider-Man on top of that.
Correct, and correct. That's it.
Brian, that's a good one. He was saying that this mold, for the Mole Man monster.
Oh, that could work.
Yeah, and he's and you know what?
Giganto.
Giganto or whatever. Marvel really loves to release figures that like kind of coincide with that mobile game that they have, Contest of Champions. and that is a character of Contest of Champions, so that'd be interesting.
I could see a Build-A-Figure wave coming where they do the Future Foundation looks and at one time in that wave or whatever.
So then, do you think that Build-A-Figure waves are not dead? Do you think that they're still?
I mean, we did get 2 this year, and half of the year is done. I mean, it's not like it's been every other wave that has come out has been Build-A-Figures, but they've been doing all of these deluxe figures. I mean, this is basically a Build-A-Figure right here when you think about it. The fact that they're doing the deluxe figures, you actually getting more bang for your buck and getting some characters that is actually a little bit larger that wouldn't necessarily work in the Build-A-Figure format. So yeah, I think it's possible. Excuse me, that we get 2 more Build-A-Figures this year.
Yeah, I while I would love to have a Giganto, I do think that this mold is too small for him because Giganto needs to be like huge. Like,
I mean, I doubt they'd ever make an accurate one. So maybe hear me out. They make this with Giganto, but then they give him like a hand that has like a little Reed Richards in it or something. That'd be cool. I don't know if you'd ever do a real one because the real one
import brain talking right there.
It is. Yeah, it is because I think to myself like a real Giganto would have to be bigger than the Giant Man.
But it would be around the size of that made to order Sentinel. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't need to be as big as Giant Man, but it needs to be bigger than this. So there's space for it. And I think that depending upon how well the general public like show up for this Fantastic Four movie will kind of be a determination of how deep they go into lore for Fantastic Four and what figures we get. But I would love to have them. Yeah. I still rock with my old Fantastic Four Classics Mole Man, but we'll need to get a new one of him at some point in time. But he still holds up for what he's trying to do.
I just wanted to talk about the strength of that made to order program. Because we talked about it with Joe too, but I mean, I don't even have any Fantastic Four figures, and I got this. Well, number one, it looks amazing, and it looks looks better now, right? Finished than the digital renders. Like the amount of detailing in this looks so much better to me. Great. The colors pop more. The paint wash all over it. Look at the mid chest and on the tricep area and outside, and then the shoulder traps. He's got like a different blends of purples. It just pops more to me.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall. I said it in an angry post Engine of Vengeance didn't get funded rant that the marketing team was going to be like, fuck them, fuck you, fuck this. Nobody's getting anything. We're taking all of this shit in-house. The only way you'll get stuff like this is made to order and blah, blah, blah. Remember that book? And I was like, they were going to make Shumagorath as an SDD exclusive, and they're going to be like, this could have been a HasLab, but fuck y'all. And while it didn't go to that extreme, because they did end up doing kind of like a variation of this. Yeah. And I think that they saw the writing on the wall that other teams don't have to do these big ass Herculean effort lifts for the community to get them on board for the product. Like the Transformers team throws out whatever, and Transformers fans.
Same with Joe.
They like
Joe's 100. Yeah, Star Wars and Marvels. They're hitting this with this,
right? And it's like even Ghostbuster HasLabs, their fan base is ravenous and loyal, and as long as that shit don't fall apart in their hands, they're good. They're like, but it's.
Well, I'll ask you guys this: is that do you think they'll ever go back to HasLab, or is this the new model that they're going to do? This and Sentinel. It feels like these two are very successful. It seems like they're happy with the way these went, right? These made to order pre-orders.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to do some of these bigger figures that wouldn't really scale in the Build-A-Figure format. So,
and it's still the same concept. HasLab was never, ever, ever a crowdfund. It was not. It was made to order pre-orders.
It's a glorified pre-order. Yeah, we said that.
Let us get our bread up front, gauge interest, and what it was. As much as people want to say the Engine of Vengeance was a failure, and Cookie Monster was a failure, and the Rancor was a failure, it actually was not. because we're putting out there products that we don't want to sit on the shelf, and it's at a higher price point, and either the interest is there or it's not.
Well, it's not.
In order for us to turn a profit, and if the interest is not there, we have built in a trap door that makes that shit go down the drain, and all we've had to spend funding on is tooling. We haven't sent shit to production. Everything is still in like the mock-up phase, and a lot of this shit is just renders. And if it doesn't fund to the point where it meets our bottom line, we're good. And we're on to the next.
And also, at the end of the day, we talked about this quite a bit too, but there is still a lot of value in the data and the metrics of all of that. And if they want to double back to any of this stuff and then just do it as this new format, this new model of putting it out, as a made to order thing, then they could. It's nothing stopping them from doing anything they want to do. We're talking about billions with a B. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. And I want to call out something that I'm looking at in the chat. Shout out to Tyree Jackson. The Marvel HasLabs and Star Wars HasLabs are subpar by comparison. I hear you. And I hear where you're coming from, because I'm assuming what you're saying is that the product, the quantity of items, the quantities of accessories, the reuse of parts, et cetera, are different than what you see with like a G.I. Joe HasLab, right? But the fact of the matter is that they have to pay a licensing fee. So therefore, before they can even eat off of those HasLabs, Disney has to be paid first.
Lucasfilm, Marvel, all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's like a dance.
They're screwed. Yeah, they're screwed. They can't win with those HasLabs.
So off break, you're working at a deficit because you're basically working on consignment.
Mm-hmm.
So this may go over some of y'all's head, but I gotta pay the plug first before I eat. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to step on this shit as much as I can so that I can maximize profit, because somebody has to be paid before I get to touch any of these sales. And therefore, the person who ends up getting screwed is you as the consumer, because you are going to get a less than product than the other lines that don't have to pay a licensing fee.
Right.
And so while I get the comparison, because it's all under the Hasbro umbrella, these lines aren't built the same, and their pay structures are not the same. And so you kind of got to like, and I get it. Like it sucks that you have to know that aspect of the business to like fully grasp it, because at the end of the day, as a consumer, I just want the best product for my money, because I'm paying approximately pretty close to what the G.I. Joe team is paying, or G.I. Joe collectors are paying for their HasLabs. So I get the frustrations, but all of that to bring it back full circle, I do think this is the way to go. I think that it still gauges it off of interest. I think that they put up the pre-orders, so when they put them up, a year later, you get this shit, and whoever got it, got it. And it also, as a collector, keeps the value there, the resale value, and makes it feel like an exclusive.
Well, exactly. So I had no F4, but I still got this because I was like, it's a beautiful figure. And if I decide to keep it, it looks great. And if I don't, I'll at least get my money back. There's no lose.
At the very least.
At the very least.
Back.
There's no lose getting this or the Sentinel 97.
Nope.
So it's a great value. No one loses in this. Like, there's no peg warmers, there's no overstock. It's not going to Ross. Like, this is the way to go.
This was also the better version of Dragon Man to do as well. I mean, because it's modern, and I feel like if they would have tried to go with like a classic Dragon Man, it would have to have been a lot larger. But this goes with your current good guy Fantastic Four people. He's not really the villain in the modern comics. So
Do you think if they made box sets that were done in this same fashion, would you also be aligned with that, or would you feel like that's corny?
As far, I mean, it depends. That's when it could start getting real expensive, though.
Like tell me more.
Because think about this, like, what if this guy was part of a box set and he was that middle figure in the packaging, and then it was like 2 other figures or 3 other figures or something like that. That is something that you would put exclusively on the site, and it would be made to order. It would make sense. It would ship out damn near like a HasLab, I guess, but you getting up there with the price again, and that's when people will start to complain again, and then that might kill this type of program too. So it's a dance. It's a thin line.
Yeah,
You really tone a line there with that.
yeah, I can dig that. You know, something that I think would do well, and it's weird because they used to have a full line for this, but I think that releasing the Phantom Rider with the horse, the fire horse, as an exclusive and do it as like a 2-pack. Again, they had the Legendary Riders line, but it looks like they're not really fucking with it like that anymore. But I think that would be a great way to get that bigger figure with the horse and then the Phantom Rider as a 2-pack on done as an
It
exclusive.
also
like
would
this.
get them into. We'd have that mold for the horse, and then they could go ahead and do other horses, you know, in the same kind of vein as Mythic Legions or whatever, but other horses that go with other characters. You know what I mean?
Valkyrie,
Right.
Knight,
Black Knight, Valkyrie. What's the other chick's name? We got her already as a figure, but
she has a horse.
But she can be seen on a horse sometime, if I'm not mistaken. What's her name? Elsa Bloodstone.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know Elsa Bloodstone rides a horse.
I'm
about
pretty
a long
sure.
ass time ago.
Tell me if I'm not accurate on that, chat, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's quite a few characters that we could get with a horse, and then at the end of the day, you know, those different characters have different colored horses, and you know, if you strip them down, and you would just have additional horses for your universe building, for your world building. And shit.
Yeah, I do like the idea of using this like pre-order model as the way to get those figures with the horses, because Hasbro's done a pretty let me take that back. The G.I. Joe team has done a pretty good job with their animals. Has the Marvel team has not, because I passed on Lockjaw.
Yeah, I still want to double back for that, but I know that he probably should have been larger and more articulated for sure. And if they would have held out and did it in this model, then yeah, it would have been a lot better probably. Also, it should be noted that this is an ode to that Toy Biz packaging that we see this backdrop here too, by the way.
Were you able to find your Dragon Man at a Walgreens back in the day?
No, I got mine some years later on eBay.
Yeah, Rick will remember this. This is around the time that you and I met each other, Richolas.
Yep.
Back when all the Walgreens in the Bay Area were like, I won't say flooded, but all the Walgreens in the Bay and like San Francisco to San Jose and Oakland, like all had these fucking Dragon Mans.
Yep. You know what's funny is that I've seen him. I've seen him many times, and one time I was like, man, Dragon Man, what the hell is this? And the funny part is that Solid Snake drove all the way from wherever the fuck he lives, hella far out, to the little town I used to live in called Mountain View, because he called ahead, and they're like, yeah, we got 10 of these Dragon Man guys. And he went out there to get the Dragon Man. So he got the Dragon Man and the Johnny Flame on a motocross bike thing.
I remember that. I forgot about that.
The Bay. I didn't flip mine for a lot, but when I was living in Sunnyvale, right off of Pinto Palm, my local Walgreens, I picked up 2 of the Dragon Mans, and one was for me, and then the other one I picked up for a guy who like introduced me to Marvel Legends and got me into collecting them. All gone. And then that motherfucker was going for like $300, $400.
Yeah, I think at the height of it, this shit was, you could have got $500 for this figure.
Probably. But it
was just small, you know. It was just even that one was pretty small. Yeah, but amazing Legends.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any other like news in terms of Mobile Legends.
No,
Where y'all want to go
not that
next?
I know of. You guys want to do the Jada stuff? They did all their Comic-Con announcements this past week. They did every single day, and everybody was really hyped at the beginning of the week because they said 3 exclusives, and we heard about those first 2. So when they said the third, everybody was like, "Oh man, what could it be?" And we saw that today, and it was pretty dope. Just go to Jada.
We did get a advance notice of what some of these exclusives were going to be in terms of the Street Fighter stuff. We knew a long time ago, right?
Yeah, we had that leak from that company overseas that leaks it every single year for whatever reason. Here goes that green bison.
Yep, knew about this.
Yeah, damn, that thumbs down is so fucking good.
So wait, this isn't the third reveal, right? We knew about this.
Yeah, we knew about this, and we knew about Dalsim.
We knew about Dalsim. So this is actually like a real-time reaction for me because I have not seen what the new reveal was today. I don't think I have.
Oh man, we're about to get to it. So yeah, this is gonna come with those extra new expression faces for your player 1 bison. And obviously the hands are going to be interchangeable with the thumbs down and whatnot, thumbs up or whatever it may be. And it comes with a ton of effects.
Oh, that looks really good.
And then that whole figure that's on fire. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, the
whole ass figure.
Effects are dope.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's so good. There's Baby Boy Dalsim.
Man,
the Yogi Flame.
That head is the only way to get the player 1 head. Doing that Yoga Flame is to buy this one.
This one as well. Yeah, it's gonna come with the flame, and it's gonna come with 2 fists for your Dalsim, I think, as well.
You
nice
sons.
I did not know that. That's good.
You sons of bitches. That Yoga Flame head is fantastic.
Yeah, incredible expression.
Yeah.
And it comes with the body on fire as well.
Yeah, you gotta. There is no other way. Well, I guess you could do the stretchy, but that looks awesome. That takes me back to like playing Street Fighter in the arcade, bro.
Yeah, this looks.
How dope is the charred detail on that? Like adding the black to that, because otherwise it looks just kind of like the other one. But man, adding that charred, chef's kiss.
Just so much playability too. Like even though I recognize this for what it is, in my A.C.B.A. mind, I see the Punisher standing over this figure in like an Ali Dio setup. Bruh, come on now, quit playing. It's this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's dope. And this is how you do an exclusive, right? They're just redos. They're not. It's not a Kuma, it's not T-Hawk or Balrog. It's not like Mezco doing their Casey Jones last year. Don't get me started.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, they're not fucking with the fans on this. It's like, hey, look, it's gonna be on Jada next level. The ones from WonderCon didn't sell out. I mean, Guile, I think, went quick because it was Target, but a lot of them, they don't really sell out fast anymore. Like, what was it, Chun-Li and Ken, Violent Ken? They didn't go quick. You could order it a week later.
Yeah. Actually, Chun-Li is available again. I think both of them
still
actually.
available.
Yeah, they still are. I just saw a posting for them the other day.
Yeah, they're all about making things available for their fans.
The Chun-Li, I'm a double back.
walls for them.
I actually never got Chun-Li. I need that though for the additional head.
Yes, and you know what? I didn't need the other Chun-Li head, but while I have no interest in the P2 versions of these, having these heads for my P1s are kind of like must-haves.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I don't like about this Dalsim is that you can't interchange this head with the other Dalsim.
But it comes with the other head.
Oh, it does. It comes with like the regular colored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind. So that's why now I'm thinking through like the lens of, well, shit, do I want to pay second market prices for this brown head where they're going to be stupid?
Buy
the whole thing.
And then you can let go of the one if you don't want it. You can sell the player 2 later just for like scraps.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep the effects. Keep the effects in the new head. And just sell the gray Dalsim if you want. I know a friend that wants to do that with the bison, because those head sculpts for bison are great with that big fucking grin and then the thumbs down hands. It's tough not to get in on it. I think.
Yeah, that's the way. That's gonna have to be the way.
Yeah, this is dope.
All right.
Yeah.
Those are the two. Just to be clear, those are the two Street Fighter SDCC exclusives. Bison in the green and Dawson in the with the gray skin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else we got?
This is the Mega Man exclusive, baby.
Mega Man.
So this was the third that was revealed today.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Oh, okay.
What fun packaging. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's so sick.
All right, that's pretty cool.
All right, that's dope. And we were talking about army building, huh?
Yeah, just last week I was like, man, I wish that I wish that figure came with a couple of more of the hard hat guys. And here we go with a 6-pack. And these things are articulated. It says in the description that their feet have ball joints and that there's articulation in the hat.
Oh yeah, you can see a little ball joint down there.
Yeah, so it's not a case of
I think he mentioned that for the first time in our interview from last year.
Oh yeah.
So did they release a price for these in a 6-pack?
No, I don't think
so. They didn't release the price for anything yet, sadly.
Okay. All right. So what are we thinking is the sweet spot price for a 6-pack army builder of the hard hat goons from Mega Man?
$5.
Sorry,
$6. Six for a 6.
Dude, man, if this thing was $6, you'd have to be hard pressed to not get me to go home with like
buck a piece.
Tracks, man.
Packaging is free. Buck a piece.
Buck a piece.
Let's see.
$26.
I think these are going to be $35.
Yeah, that's where my head is at. It's at $34.99.
So for 6 of them, what is that? $5 each.
Yep.
Roughly 5 and some change. 5.
Yes, sir.
Plus.
Yeah.
That's not terrible, but it's not great. It's fine.
I mean, you do get to tack on a little bit of like exclusive tax, right? So
yeah, packaging tax, deluxe packaging, nice packaging. Yeah.
Yeah, and these do have articulation. You know, if they were just
statues,
if they were just statues, yeah, I'd be kind of annoyed. But yeah, the little articulation, I'm in on these, Johns.
And you know what I love? Like we've talked about this a couple times. To me, this is a perfect example of how you do an exclusive for the fans. Because for me,
100%.
Someone who's collecting this line, I don't need these. But if you are collecting the line, there's desire for them. But I think I would be okay not having these in my collection. So I think that this is a great way to roll this out. I think this is a great character for the con exclusive.
Oh yeah.
How many of these are you getting then, Ricolas?
I would like to, probably.
Okay.
I'd like to if they're $34.99. Yeah, two minimum, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good. How has reception been for this reveal?
Oh, people love this shit.
Really good.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, and you know, I see that guy like the second high comment. You make an army builder an exclusive, but like we just said before, Jada's for the people. So all of their exclusives are very easy to obtain after the fact.
Yeah.
They have them up on Jada Next Level for forever after they drop. You know, you're gonna be perfectly fine with these things being an exclusive. They're not gonna be hard to get. I mean, you're gonna have to pay the shipping, which kind of sucks. But I mean, if that's the only caveat, then I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
That guy was doing it for the likes. See how he has 12 likes and then everyone else is like, I like this. Yeah, 1 like. If you're angry, you get more likes. You do it for the like. All caps. All caps, man. More likes.
All caps. You got to say something disparaging. Everybody's going to back you up. Like, you're right, bro. So right, brother. Not everybody gets to go to Comic-Con.
Anarchy.
Yeah, good on June and the team also for doing 6 of these because they totally could have done this as a 3-pack. And I think people would have been okay with it, right? Like people would have been like, because we're conditioned to not get value. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so even if they had done a 3-pack for like $25, $30 because it's the con, I think people would have been okay and paid that.
People still would have bought it.
Yeah, people would have bought it. So putting 6 of these in there at the end of the day, knowing that they have articulation, the helmets can come off, whatever, like that. Again, Jada continues to kind of be like the gold standard for giving the most value for the consumer with their product.
Yeah, and that packaging, man, is so sick.
Yeah.
To be clear, previously we got only 1 of these at a time and a pack in with Mega Man, right?
Yeah, that just went pre-order. Went up for pre-order last week.
Oh, it's not even out yet. Oh wow.
No.
So
Wave
potentially, people will have this in hand before the other one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, they will. Because those Mega Man
And-
figures, I think they don't come out until August or September or
Yeah,
something.
they won't be out for a while.
Yeah, them
the
shit's
fall.
still not even up on Amazon yet.
Yep. I mean, they just went up the other day. So I don't think it's going to be out anytime soon.
I will say I do wish that they were different. Maybe I don't know. It's not really that
I
big
was just
of an
about to
issue
ask
for me.
you that if the ones in the pack or the one packed in with Mega Man was different in any way.
No,
Slightly.
they're not different. I'm going either way on it. Like it would have been cool if they were different, but it doesn't really bother me. If anything, I wish
what would you have
like
done different?
I wish that they would have like different eye deco or something, like maybe like half opened eyes, or like eyes that express that they were taking damage or something, or like X's. But I can understand how it's, it makes sense like fiscal wise to just keep running this same print that they have going on at the factory. Just make a ton of these, and then we'll sell them. Because like once you introduce like separate deco passes, then it just becomes way more expensive. And then,
but what they could have done is they could have done a 3-pack of just the full complete body, helmet, whatever, and then the other 3 things that were included were 3 face plates, and they could have just made it so that when you take the hat off, then you just swap out the front of that head, and then with a new one.
True.
Or just the eyes themselves be swap out.
Well, P would have wanted the mouth to have a different expression if you're like taking damage or whatever.
I don't necessarily think the mouth has to be a different. They could still use this mouth to express taking damage too. I mean,
so you wouldn't want one that just had like a regular, because he has a closed mouth look in the game.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I'd like it for sure, but like I'm thinking about it in the way of like what makes sense for them. Like what's the best middle ground for them to like keep costs down, but also provide like a good exclusive that hits the price point just right.
Yeah, and
how does it, do we have a picture of how it looks? Because the hat comes off of the greater body, right?
Yep. Yeah. Just like in the game.
Okay,
like the hat just sitting there.
Oh yeah, so yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe there is an easy way to upgrade these in the future where you could take the eye plate off or something like that. We don't really know yet.
I would imagine it's all just one thing. Like that's probably my biggest piece of constructive criticism with the design philosophy of Jada figures, especially Mega Man stuff, is because the head sculpt is all one sculpt. It's like all one one mold. So like if in a perfect world, if we could have gone back a couple of years and they could have implemented like faceplate technology, that would have been great. But I can understand how that also significantly makes the price much higher, and not only in production, but the MSRP would be way higher too.
It's true.
But, I would say like the best middle ground for this is, I don't. Let me see if I can find a. It's really hard to tell in these pictures. I don't know if the actual pupils in the eyes are sculpted in there, like if they're like embossed or anything in there.
Yeah, because you could actually just do your own thing.
Yeah, just wipe it off.
You just print something different.
Yeah, and then just put a decal or a water slide or something. That'd be great. But but even if it is, like you could free idea, free side hustle, get like a bunch of these and then just wipe off the pupils and then just fill it in with like some whatever, like some putty or whatever, and then a matte coat over it, then apply a water slide decal or whatever.
Yeah, even just for a picture's sake, you could easily do something temporary that's not even permanent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You could just make a white decal with the expression over the white.
Yeah, right over
and
it.
just put it over the thing if you just wanted to be a temporary.
Or you could just use AI in your photo.
No, that's what I'm. Now you're using your head, brother. That's what I'm talking
about. That guy.
Get the same man out here.
Yeah. These were the Jada offerings, and it was funny because yesterday was a big day. because of Anime Expo. Storm Collectibles was in the building there, displaying their new stuff, and everybody was going crazy for it.
Yeah, that's true. Great.
Was
Segue.
Jada not there? Was Jada not at Anime Expo?
They have been before. I don't believe they're there. I think they would have announced it if they were.
They're
They
too
have been
big.
before, though.
They're too big for them now because they did
I mean,
WonderCon and Comic Con.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, yeah, they don't really need to.
They don't need it. Yeah.
Baby, this was nice to see today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Storm
Nash.
went crazy with this stuff, man. That
That Nash
Charlie
is
and
crazy.
Saget
and the Dan.
fucking
Yeah.
look great too.
Put some
And
respect on my man's name.
what I said came to pass. I was getting a lot of grief on this podcast about the Sagat ab crunch, but they ended up changing it to a ball joint instead of the weird block that was in the middle of the abs. Although I don't think there's anything wrong with doing the articulation that way. It was just the way that it was cut into the ab just didn't look good. Had they just widened it and made the block bigger to align with the abs, it would have been fine. Would not have been that big of a deal, I don't think. But they decided to just opt out and just do a whole ball joint, it looks like, at the bottom of the torso. And they were letting people pose these around. Pretty cool that they were letting them do that.
That's dope.
Yeah, people have them in hand and we're like posing them up. And shit.
If you want to check out the collector on
in the collector, huh? Right? Lethal Collector?
Was it Lethal Collector?
Mm.
I don't know, but I literally just saw some in hand photos of him posing these up. Actually,
yeah,
like individual shots.
Yeah, let me find the right.
Yeah, I would like to see that. So I have not been shy about saying this. This is actually, in my mind's eye, this is my preferred look for Sagat.
Mm-hmm.
The alpha look where he's a monster, as opposed to his Street Fighter 2 look. I do have my Street Fighter 2 Jada Sagat, but I do think I'll probably, because I'm blasphemy, but I'm mixing and what is it?
Matching
mixing and matching these. So this will probably be my Sagat because this is how he looks in my mind. And this figure, I always agreed with you, Rick. I think that this is the way to go for his torso. And
yeah,
it looks pretty.
How much are these going for in this? So I haven't followed the Storm Arena too much because honestly, with Jada, I'm kind of just good, and I don't really want to spend any more money.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone for having started with Jada and just sticking with it.
Fantastic, but that Sagat I have from Jada is like one of my favorite figures I've had this year. Even though this looks amazing, do I really want to spend? So how much do these go for?
So Sagat is $37.99, but the regular size figures are $26.99.
Same price.
Like Ryu and Ken.
Yeah, it is the Lethal Collector. All right, you found it already.
Yeah, it's essentially the same price.
Same as Jada, pretty much. So this is to match what they're doing, kind of.
Yeah. So they're going
they're not $100. Yeah.
No, not for this scale. And I don't think
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to get out of that, because everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna buy Jada and get rid of my Storm collectibles because I'm not paying $100 and I can pay 25 and get 4 figures for the price of their one. So this is their answer to that. I'm not saying that this wasn't in development when Jada was doing it, but this is kind of the answer, the reply.
And the reviews for these, for the people that have Ryu and Ken in hand, have been pretty stellar. One of the things that was a standout, Anthony's Customs did his comparison of Jada Ryu to Storm Arena's Ryu. And something that I can't unsee now is the way that the belt cinches in around the waist so that he has less of a like tank torso and it's more contoured.
Yeah.
Because the Jada Ryu, while it still looks amazing,
he's a little wide bodied.
He's wide.
Yeah.
So So anyway, mix and match, and gonna get this Sagat. This Dan.
You know damn well that the Storm people had the Jada shit in hand as they were figuring out their sculpting situation. So
100%.
I mean, they look like them. They look just like them. Like if you said this was Jada Toys' next figures, I'd be like, okay, dope, amazing. Like they don't look. The Bucks look the same.
But wasn't Jada just inspired by imports anyway? I don't understand the argument here. Like,
Uh,
all due respect to Jada, for sure, obviously, but
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like Jada's, and I know that the mileage is going to vary on this opinion, P, but I would definitely want to hear you and Rick's take on it. Dare I say that the Jada Street Fighter stuff looks better than any of the import line Street Fighter stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, to me, yeah, Jada has the inspiration of imports, but that's not the same. This a lot of this shit is like direct copy. That's not the same to me. Inspiration is one thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with inspiration, but like keeping it a buck, like a lot of this fucking Storm collectible shit is like it almost feels like a direct rip, and it looks fucking great. You know, it's not the end of the world. These can both exist to me.
But what
you know?
specifically is ripping them off? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I mean, you said it the other time, but like regardless of personal opinion, like these figures are not supposed to have texture on their gi, and they have it anyways, and they didn't have it. They shouldn't have it anyways, and it was a direct rip from how Jada did it.
I don't know, Rick. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but like traditional gis have a burlap texture.
These guys
to
aren't
them.
real.
Hmm?
These guys aren't real, and they don't have it. They don't have it in alpha. An outfit's like really smooth. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world that they would copy it or anything like that, or that they would be heavily inspired by it. Who fucking cares? They're good looking.
Let me ask you guys this.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
I'm saying I don't. Everybody's putting words in my mouth. I'm saying I don't.
I don't think
it's fine for them both to exist and have the inspiration. It's okay.
I don't think the consensus was that it was. I think we were saying from the beginning that Storm was on some bullshit, though. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean, though?
Yeah, I don't understand that whole argument, to be quite honest, because like
I felt like it was taking it wasn't like a normal sort of like friendly competition thing. Like I feel like they was like really like coming at them and dropping down the scale and coming to the same price.
I mean, you
know, something personal there. Like I don't know.
Let me tell you something right now, just from somebody that is around all these guys. It was personal, and I know that it is. Whether they say it or not, or it is personal for them.
But personal in what regard? You feel like Jada coming out with their Street Fighter line that were smaller and more affordable than Storm collectibles was a shot, and then they responded back with this?
Well, I mean, there's some things I can't say on the air.
No,
but there was personal things for the way that they developed this line that directly is going at Jada. There absolutely is. It's not even a question.
But can I follow up? Can I follow up real quick?
Please.
So look, I'm coming in with not like only the bare minimum, like what you're showing me on Instagram is what I know.
Yeah.
And was this a response, or was this in the pipeline for them to do the arena figures before Jada, or on this? Like what's the timeline on this to get these out? Or is this Jada already doing their thing and then they were like, here's arena?
Yeah, Jada was long doing it before, and they actually went to Capcom to get the license for this in this scale.
Mm-hmm.
And Jada was not made aware. So,
well, do they have to be made aware when
yeah, I mean, typically that is the case. When you talk, nobody can make a Marvel anything without speaking to somebody else about like, hey, we're doing this in a very similar scale. Like, that's just the business.
But this is a different line. Like this is Street Fighter Alpha. In June, even when he was on here, he said explicitly they were only doing Street Fighter 2 and only doing Street Fighter 2 characters.
For the time being, he never said that that's all that they were going to do. He'd spoken many times about the next game he'd want to do and like what games he wasn't interested in ever doing. That he had.
Yeah, in my interviews with June, he was open to all of it.
Yeah, he had the ability to do anything, although he was only doing Street Fighter 2.
But how the business works is that competition, because again, if we keep it at a buck, and again, we don't know this is all speculation. I want to go on record as saying this is all speculation. The fact that Storm was already doing Street Fighter figures prior to Jada doing, there was a relationship that was already there with Capcom,
right?
Yes, there was, absolutely.
So for June, they may viewed it as, how did we end up losing the license because we were going to do those figures too, or we eventually
didn't lose it, but they're sharing the exact same scale license with another company.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We have to factor in the scaling. Storm was never, and that's part of the reason why I never even bought a Storm figure. I don't own one Storm figure. I've never bought one because I just don't collect in that scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, you know, coming from my own mouth, not even putting anything into my, putting the words into my mouth. This line is fucking sick, and it's okay that it exists at the same time as Jada, but acting like there wasn't some sort of behind the scenes shit and that they weren't directly trying to respond back and usurp is a lie.
Yes.
There's no way. There's no way. They never made this scale before, and they were super stagnant when it came to Street Fighter. They were barely releasing anything, and look at them now. They're fucking all cylinders, and this shit looks
one
figure
a
year.
year. A bad thing. Like I don't.
I'm
Understand.
not saying it's a bad thing.
It's not necessarily a bad.
Yeah, but it can
thing,
be true.
but-
It could still be true at the end of the
but
day. But it's not a bad thing.
breeds innovation. And
yeah,
like,
I've said it many times.
They got pushed. They got pushed.
Yeah.
And they pushed back.
And
That's it. They got pushed. They pushed back. Here it is.
Like I also only have like I only have one of the Storm collectible Street Fighters, and it's a knockoff of Zangief. But I have all of the Jada Street Fighter releases, but I'm copping these because, in my opinion, what Jada did is they like pushed the envelope and like kind of made everybody take notice of what they were able to do. And another company that already had a relationship with Capcom was like, hey, well, wait a minute. You know, we could do 6-inch too if we wanted to, if we had the opportunity to. So let us fuck with Alpha. These guys over there are doing Street Fighter 2. Let us fuck with Alpha and show you what we can do. And we're seeing it.
And it wasn't just them either. You know, Bandai too. They acted like that license didn't exist. They acted like they never had it, like they never made figures for it. And then they realized that nothing expired, and they're like, "Oh man, that old Guile we have, let's fucking release it." You know, it's these people want Street Fighter. You know, I was just saying that this shit would not be where it is without Jada. And anybody that says different is lying to themselves.
I mean, we could say that.
But there's nothing wrong with this line existing.
That's 100% true, and we can say that.
These look great.
You know, there's 6 degrees of separation from every fucking line. So
right.
These look great. I'm pre-ordering all of them. Well, you know what? I'm lying. That Chun-Li looks really off to me still. I don't know what it is about her build. It looks really off. I mean, the buns are correct. People were mad that the buns were flat, but that's how it is in Alpha. Her buns are flat. They're not bulbous or whatever. Something just looks off. I don't know if it's the neck and the shoulders and like the torso, but something looks off with her. But everything else looks fucking sick. That Nash is unreal.
The Nash is amazing.
It's fucking insane.
Scott is amazing. I do think, and maybe I need to see more pictures of it. I like Jada's M Bison more than this M Bison. Currently.
I mean,
that M Bison
is it with the folding arms though.
That M Bison is the gigantic one though. That's not.
Oh, so it's not even in this line.
Oh, that's not in the scale.
No, their booth also has their regular line as well. So there's like a T-Hawk.
So that's the regular M Bison.
Okay, that's the regular
and that's
7-8 scale, whatever it is that they.
I believe so because it's not with them. That Bison is off to the side with the T-Hawk. That T-Hawk is fucking incredible too, and I'm buying that T-Hawk.
It does look amazing, and
that T-Hawk is crazy.
I'm kind of like, can I even fuck with it? But people are speculating that the size of that T-Hawk was like 12 inches.
He's gonna be huge. It's gonna be absurd. That whole line is nuts.
So let me pivot a little bit because they're in the photos. Where do we think they're going with this Darkstalkers line?
I don't know. I'm curious how far it's gonna go. Their decision making with Storm, you know, it's really strange. Like
it's
I said,
all over the place.
Yeah, I've spoken to these guys ad nauseum. I've gone to many a dinner with them, and their decisions are really off, and they're all very personal, just like it would be for anybody else. Like if I ran a toy line, I'd be fucking doing what I want to do, probably if I could.
Yeah.
So their decision making is really all over the place. I wonder where they'd go next after Lilith and Morgan. I wish I could say that I'd have some sort of guess, but I really don't. I really don't. With their other scale one, they only ever did Morgan.
Yeah.
So we can't even have that to go off of. Really, I don't think. So
I mean, she's far above the most popular character from that.
Oh, it's not even close.
No.
It's not even close. The second one is her sister, and even then she's not like.
Yeah.
So do you think Felicia?
And then what's her name? Felicia too. Yeah, Felicia's really big. Yeah.
And I could see John Talbane is also pretty popular.
Yeah. I mean, I love Shenko because she doubles for MVC, and you know she's just a character I've always liked. But
they may keep it gangsta and give us BB Hood and get in on some of this Marvel versus Capcom action.
Yeah, it's hard to know. You know, they love really big ass characters. I'm honestly surprised. I'd be shocked if they don't do some fucking big ass character from
Frank. What's the Frankenstein's name? It's not Frank. It's I forget his name. Can you go to that T-Hawk for a second, Pete?
Yeah, dude, that T-Hawk is sick. I don't know if he has a picture of it, but that T-Hawk is crazy.
Just to be clear, though, Ryu and Ken are the only two that are out so far, right? That people have in hand.
Yes.
Sir, yes, sir. And they look pretty damn good.
They look
I mean,
good,
everything
man.
I've been
They
seeing
look
looks fucking great.
Yeah, they look fucking
good. Wayne Collectors has some in-hand photos of Ryu and Ken, I believe.
Yeah, Brad had them in yesterday. Although one of his Ryu came with a wonky ass eye. That was really I told him to complain, but he says he doesn't want to take the time to do it. But I would fucking complain.
Mr. Harper.
He looks like he got punched too hard one time, and it like never came back. It looks
That's
really
a variant,
cool,
man. Come on.
The variant. Yeah, this T-Hawk looks insane. This is a must buy right here.
Yeah, this is damn good.
So can I bounce off this and ask you guys a question then and go? I kind of like D Walt's plan. I want to go on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Dude,
what's the future of Street Fighter for Jada Toys then?
I don't know. You know, it's what we ask ourselves all the time when we're on our Discord chats and whatnot. Like, where do they go from here? Because although he never said it, you know, people ask him all the time on these shows, like, hey, what game would you want to do next? And Alpha always seemed like the logical next way to go, but I don't know how far along, if he was planning Alpha, how far along he would have been. Is he like low enough into it that he could have backed out and done something else? You know, I don't know. I think that maybe we'll get an answer at Comic-Con.
If you're June, where do you go with it? That's my follow-up.
If I'm June, I either go 6 or I go Third Strike. I think that's where I would go.
I think those are good answers. Who else?
If I'm June, I leave Street Fighter alone for a second, and I tell Capcom, let me dig in the crates. And I want to fill the void of this Marvel versus Capcom shit. I want to do Captain Commando. I want to do all of those Capcom characters that are current that Hasbro can't do. I want to do all of that shit, and I want to make a new, like, my own version of the Gamerverse with a better name, and just let me dig in y'all's crates, because I'm already doing Mega Man, and I've already now done Street Fighter. So let me do let me do Strider. Right. Let me do, like I said, Captain Commando. Let me do all of that shit. Let me get to those other characters, some of those Dark Stalkers people. Mm-hmm. Why am I struggling to say that word? Dark Stalkers. That's
Dark Stalkers, man. Boston. Dark Stalkers.
Yeah, but that's what I would want. And then I would let that chill for a second. And then, like Rick said, I would come back with 6.
3 or 6.
All right, yeah.
If anyone else does anybody else have any solutions? Because then I'll give mine.
That's the only thing I was going to say. I agree with D Walt that I would fall back off of the Street Fighter once they finish up this. Then I would fall back and try to go somewhere else, because they kind of being forced to do that the way the game is being played right now. It's a little cat and mouse all across the board. And it's not just between Jada and Storm Collectibles. Like you know, like we said, it's the Gamerverse shit is hot right now. So if they could pivot to something else in that universe, in that world, then they would be they'd be right on, spot on.
Right.
Well,
so I would say
now, but like by the time these figures come out, it's like a 20-month turnaround time for these guys. So like for anybody actually. So I mean, like how crazy that would be.
But it's still something that people have wanted for 20 plus years already, though. So
think about all the games in Capcom's catalog. And so you may not want some Marvel versus Capcom shit, but nobody's going to turn down Resident Evil figures.
They can never have that, sadly.
Why?
That would never happen.
Who owns that right now?
The creator owns the license and doesn't give it out. That's why they don't exist.
God himself.
That's why they don't exist. Like
a creator.
We've seen some Resident Evil figures in the past, but that was made by them. That was their shit.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that some people just have the luck. Like we've asked June this before. Nobody's ever been able to get Akira, the manga or the movie license ever, except for Todd McFarlane. That one time, and nobody knows why. He was able to do it, and anybody else that asks is told that it's not possible, that they're not interested. Like I don't know. Some creators are just really protective of what they have. And the creator of Resident Evil is like that. We've asked him before, and he said that he's asked, and they told him absolutely not, that he's not interested and that he doesn't want to make figures. And it sucks because they would do so fucking well if they did.
Yeah.
What is your plan? What would you do, Moody?
All right, so I think the cheap way of saying this is you guys are probably all right. I would say I think all that's going to happen. So I would just speaking of June a couple times at different conventions. He kind of tipped that he would love to do a greatest hits in a way. Like Street Fighter 2 is the Street Fighter, right? But then he could kind of do a pick, he could pick which one, and then each box could just have the different logo. You could have a Street Fighter 4 version of Ryu with a beard. You could have the Street Fighter 3 Alpha. You could have Street Fighter 6, because I wouldn't just do 6, because some people don't fucking fuck with that game and it's new. And then, but some people do. So it's polarizing. So why don't you just grab a couple of the unique characters or unique designs of characters that are popular? Maybe do a vote. So I think a greatest hits in a way. But yeah, you got Boog D. I would wait on that. Let the 2 marinate. Let all these repaints marinate. Keep maybe throwing a couple repaints while you're fucking with Invincible. Right? They have the Invincible license. So
I mean,
there you go.
Was that official? Like that's we know that they have the license. We don't know what they're.
So they have the license, but they haven't said they're doing the 1/12 scale figures. They may just do fucking cars with it. Who knows? But they do have
that would be terrible.
Don't put that into the ether. It's like
I mean, they do G.I. Joe cars. Maybe
I know, but that would be so disappointing.
Batman cars. We don't got Batman. Everybody wanted Jada to get the DC license. Mattel got. I think that was the right play, but they got the money. They got the money for DC.
Yeah.
That would be my nightmare to have a fucking Omni-Man car, and that's it.
But look, guys.
It's better that, like you said, it's better that Mattel got the DC license because of the scale of that. Yeah. Invincible is in the scale that Jada could do right now. I feel like it's right up their alley.
Yeah, it will be much better than Diamond Select. So I like the greatest hits of Capcom, then follow that up with greatest hits of the different Street Fighter lines. You know what I mean? Like that would be a good 1-2 punch, and then work on your other shit. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm looking it up right now. The last, remember back in the day, Toy Biz had Resident Evil figures? That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. But I don't see on here who I believe you 100%, Rick, that they own their own license for toys. But being able to just, like I said, go back and hit us with some of those classics, like a Bionic Commando, like it really does. It ends up not limiting them to just being bound to this Street Fighter shit. But I don't know. Time will tell. Or maybe the next time either June is on here or you have them on, Moody.
It's a good possibility. We might see something in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe some questions will be answered at Comic-Con, or maybe they won't. It's hard to tell. The situation that they're in right now is really like middle of the road almost. Like,
I mean, the situation that every company is in right now is kind of wild because
Vega just released too, right? People are getting their Vegas in hand.
Yeah, Josh Chaney has a review. Go check it out on Toy Migos. He's got it, and reviews up. Looks fucking great.
And so who's left? E-Honda,
Akuma, Zangief, T-Hawk. Who else?
And that may be
Zangief, Balrog, T-Hawk.
I think it's 6. It's 6 characters that's left, because I was just talking to my man Tayo about this a couple weeks ago.
Akuma.
It's 6. Whatever it is, it's 6 more characters.
And we're gonna get so many variants for Akuma. At least 3.
Hell yeah.
At least, because you got to do black, you have to do purple, and you have to do red. And so
that silver hair,
Yeah, the Shin. So then it's like, so we're gonna see him. I don't know. Does Jada do like any anime convention exclusives?
They went. I mean, they've never done an exclusive. They were at AX last year, but I don't believe they're there this year for whatever reason. Maybe it just didn't make any sense to go back there. But they had early release, I want to say, at AX, but an exclusive. I don't think they've ever done an exclusive at Anime Expo.
That may be the way. Because
they had early drop at WonderCon as well.
See, it's because there are too many variants of Akuma for them not to do one that's an anime exclusive.
They have Fei Long and Guile at WonderCon. So player 2s.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, where we want to go next? Is there some other big news to talk about? Any other big company news?
The height correction for our boy Scotty.
Right. So there's been a lot of talk about whether they just made a mistake from the beginning or if they actually went back and changed it. We know that they couldn't physically go back and change it because it's probably already been in production, right?
Yeah, this is just an error in a listing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Translation error. You think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about translating. I think it's just like whenever they gave the listing, when listings go up, like they don't know the actual height, so that's why they just say approximately this height.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no way that they were on Instagram and reading mean comments and were like, "Hold on, stop the presses. We gotta add a couple of millimeters to this."
Yes and no. Not adding, but yeah, they probably saw all of the comments and was like, "Oh, wait a minute, it's not even correct."
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's a much more plausible situation. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So the other thing that we need to talk about with this is that we actually got the price of this. It went up for pre-order this past week. So domestically, on average, you're gonna spend $100, a little over 100, 112, 113 with shipping and tax and all of that, right? Is that what it came out to?
Say that number again.
Like 112, 113 with.
Oh hell no! You domestic shopping bastard! You never. That.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm giving you a hard time. That's what it is for us simpletons who don't know how to navigate an import site.
Right.
But Rick knows. Rick is the plug.
I mean, it was about $67 on average if you order direct. If you order, from one of the Japanese sites, right?
You know what I did want to ask you guys, since we're talking about SHF and this Cyclops. But you were right about that book. Have you guys taken a look at American SHF retails right now? How the fuck can this be sustainable? Like, how can people collect this shit in America now if you're buying in America? Like, some of these prices are fucking gross. Like, most of them are $100. And some of them are $150, $120. This the hell?
It's not.
For a little crazy. 6-inch scale figure, that's not like some
the
big robot or something. It's crazy.
The backlash is coming.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't need to put these up because this is just going to go by really fast. But like, look at like Berserk's Casca, 120. The new guy from Kaiju number 8 with like the mechanical arms or whatever, he's 134. The two guys from Haikyuu who are really plain, $90 a piece. The girls from Evangelion, $90 a piece. Harry, $100. Voldemort, $150. Like, how the fuck can people collect this shit? Like, there's no way this is sustainable. Like, these lines might not be a big thing in America anymore at these prices. That's crazy price hike.
It's because somewhere along the way the trend became to price every figure as if you were shipping it like as a single package. Like the savings that doing like what do you call it? Like the savings of shipping like pallets and pallets of these figures on a ship, those savings are not passed on to the consumer anymore. Like it is being priced as if you are shipping one figure through DHL every single time. And there have been a couple of American websites that have done that I've noticed that we're starting to do that over the last year or so. But like now everybody's doing it because they can.
Because they can.
Because they see it as they're losing money if they don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked because it's going to make the market kind of like cave in on itself because eventually people aren't going to buy this shit anymore at this price, at least not domestically. Not everybody's figured out the way to like order from your Amis and all the other sites that UMP frequent. Because clearly a lot of people still don't do that because people are still, did this sell out on BBTS? At the 113?
No.
Nothing from the Bandai drop sold out on BBTS because those prices are disgusting.
Yeah, the price is crazy.
And so I think that these American resellers are going to start to take note of that because they're going to end up having to sit on a lot of stock for a long time. But however, on the flip side of that coin, you did say all of the import sites did sell out, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and in a fucking flash, yeah, Brad Harper said they evaporated.
So you know what?
On
You know
import
what's
prices.
the funny thing is the domestic market is going to be the secondary market for some of these things, which you trying to backtrack and get it after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like that's how it's been for a really long time. The
Mm.
domestic market sets the standard for the aftermarket prices. Like,
Mm.
That's fair. Because do you think that the secondary market price is not set P until people then have to double back and are forced to then have to use the American sites, and then they already pay the premium? Yeah.
I mean, like, all due respect, I feel like the biggest site that people who like flip these figures and stuff they look to is BBTS. Like, the secondary market price is not set until BBTS puts up their numbers, and even if figures are being sold before BBTS puts up stuff, like, as soon as those numbers go up, all the listings go to match that.
To match that, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
That's fair. And I guess that instead of maybe the bottom falling out, it'll just continue the way that it has. And I guess that these American sites, the Entertainment Earths, the BBTS, they kind of know where they fit in this kind of like ecosystem, right? All the anime sites are going to sell out first. The import sites are going to sell out first. And then once those ship and people have their FOMO, they're going to be hitting everybody with the Thanos and be like, and look where that brought you.
Right.
Back to me.
Because before you go pay double, triple the price, I still got you right here, baby, for 113 ship.
Right. 113. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So where my price was high, now my price is the lowest in town because you don't want to pay secondary prices.
Well, I don't think secondary prices are going to be higher than BBTS if an item is in stock. I don't think so.
Well, you know what I'm thinking about with this? I'm thinking about like Mayfex Gambit is a good example of this, because I know that I did not get, where did I get my Mayfex Gambit from? I think, Rick, I got it from Ami Ami because you told me when it went up. And so I was able to get it imported, but BBTS had it. And I'm sure that, and to me at the time, it didn't make sense to pay more domestic. But once everything was sold out, it kind of fit the same model. Once everything in this Mayfex was sold out on Ami Ami, then it was sold out on BBTS. And eventually Mayfex Gambit, I think now he still goes for like $270, even with the CT Toys went out. And so I think at its peak, it was like $300. And so that's my point, is that I'm saying that before it gets to that number, people then go back and look at the domestic sites, and then they are forced to see that as a deal because they know where it can land for not everything, but for most things.
Yeah. Okay. Where y'all want to go next? Is there anything else?
I don't. Let me double check that there isn't anything else, but I think we got everything.
Real quick, I know Ironheart wrapped up. If y'all wanted to talk about that for a second, what was you going to say though, Rick?
I was going to say, we saw the official reveals of all the SHF stuff. We don't have to bring it up for anything, but the only big difference from what we saw was that Ozaru comes with a lot less.
Yeah, the Ozaru is not good.
It's bare bones, huh?
It's bare bones, and it's more expensive than the original.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, that Ozaru is not it, Chief.
So nothing really different than the other one.
Yeah, just that it comes with less.
Aside from the paint.
It comes with less than the original.
So this is
they
just
could have
like
given him a different hand or something. Damn.
So this is just like late tax that people that missed out on it the first time have to pay a little bit.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
The colors are a little more rich. They were saying last week.
Yeah,
a little more vibrant. But yeah, that sucks. Okay. You guys reminded me about something that I wanted to touch
people
on.
in the comments have been asking, was there anything new from 5K Toys?
You know what? I don't know about 5K Toys, but there's that 1/6 scale Iron Man. Did y'all see that? That classic Iron Man? I was talking to E. Rivera about it earlier today.
Is it Hono? Studios.
Is it? I believe it might be. That shit looks great.
Yeah, they're like the lower priced 1/6 scale figures.
Who had that?
I mean, I think Sideshow just has it. If you type in Hono on Sideshow's website, I don't think it would be anywhere on here, sadly.
It was on Instagram where I saw it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where would have had it like at this very moment, but I know I've seen it plenty of times. It has like a rubber body.
Who is this?
Oh, you know what? It's Geek Effect has it actually.
Oh, the Geek Effect.
Yeah.
I saw his video.
Yeah, this Iron Man is crazy.
Yeah, look at the video though. It's pretty nutty. It's Geek Effect on Instagram.
So walk me through this. I haven't seen this. What are we looking at here?
This is 1/6 scale Hono Studios Iron Man.
It was really just the posability on it that was pretty remarkable to me. But it does have some light up parts and some swappable parts and things.
They did the Wolverine last year that everybody was losing their minds over, and now the Magneto's out, and I guess this is out. This looks crazy.
So these guys are like competing against like Hot Toys level.
Well, I don't know if competing. They're distributed by Sideshow, who does Hot Toys.
Interesting.
So it's more like, I don't know if in tandem is the right word, but they're. Damn, that is so crazy. Wow. I've not seen this video before.
That's a rubber overlay.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it is. Silicone overlay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have that classic magnet to start the light.
Is that vac metal paint on the red?
Maybe.
Or is it just the lighting in the studio?
Maybe it's the lighting and it's just like candy paint.
Looks metallic for sure.
Yeah, that paint job looks amazing.
Oh yeah, and then I love the backgrounds. Yeah, that comes with the comic.
The comic. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, they have Magneto and Wolverine have the same thing.
Does their Magneto have a soft goods cape, Richolas?
Absolutely. You bet your bottom dollar. Welcome to die.
This looks very impressive.
Yeah, this looks crazy.
Yeah, Hono Studios is nuts. I didn't even know this thing was out. That's crazy.
Yeah, what's the price point on this?
$250 probably, right?
I don't know. They're usually 100 and something.
Really?
Let's see. Oh no, you're right. It's $215. But all the other ones have been in the $160, $170 range. But I guess this one was just pushing it too far with the rubber overlay.
Also with the light up features and stuff too.
Yeah, light up feature and the rubber overlay. But I know that Wolverine is like 160. Let me see.
Did it come with Did it come with an unmasked Stark head or a visible Stark face under the mask?
It has eyes. It has eyes.
Just the eyes, yeah.
Yeah. So the Wolverine was 160 and the Magneto was 175.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And they also have a symbiote suit Spider-Man that was 175.
Can we see these? Do we have access to see those pictures? I've never heard of this company or seen these figures.
Oh man, yeah, there they are. These guys are next level. They're really good.
So the Wolverine is in soft goods?
Yes, sir.
Really
nice stuff.
I love how tight that is. I feel like sometimes Hot Toys is a really good company, but I feel like I've seen some of their stuff be a little baggy sometimes, but the way that's really form fitting looks great.
Yeah, Hono does a really good job. They're sick. I think Machu was the person that put me on to the Wolverine when it released last time. Shout out to Machu who put me on last time, but this is crazy.
Yeah,
it's next level shit.
Yes, that looks good. Yeah, I want to see this Mags.
Yeah, that Magneto is really, really nice, and it comes with that iconic Jim Lee cover.
Well.
Yeah, that Magneto is crazy.
Wow, this stuff's nuts.
Yeah, and it's well priced as $175. Like, it's really not bad
for that scale. Though.
For that scale, yeah, for that scale, it's pretty solid price. And I love that base that it comes with. It's not just like a typical 1/6 scale base coming with that like comic in the background. It's dope as fuck.
Yeah, whoever is designing their soft goods, their costumes, they fit the molds underneath perfectly. Because the fact that you can still see the like musculature and the legs and look at the, like his abdomen area and see his abs, that looks really good.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier. I feel like Hot Toys, and not just Hot Toys, but other 1/6 scale companies too. They really go overly baggy
Yeah.
just to because they worry about the stretch, which is like a problem, you know, that you have to think about when you're designing. But this company really finds that like good medium. They do a great job.
Figured it out.
Yeah, they do great stuff.
That looks really good. Like that is a wonderful representation of classic Magneto. That looks
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
oh yeah, and they're doing Star Wars too. They showed that Darth Vader. We talked about it before on the podcast, the Rebels one. Oh my god, that thing is f***ing sick.
Whole no studios. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, that's from Rebels. Really, really great. If they do somebody else from Rebels, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Got to get that good. They'd probably do Ezra next, huh? Over Kanan.
That would be the dream. Do Ezra. I mean, obviously they'd probably do Darth Maul next. Just because he'd sell incredibly well, but I would prefer Ezra or Kanan next.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would want next.
And I forget who told me to watch Rebels. It was either you or it wasn't John Papa Sergio, but sleeping on Rebels, thinking it was like for kids, man, oh man.
Oh, dude, Rebels is so fucking good. I love that series. That's my shit. That's the last time that Black Series really had me in a chokehold. But yeah, I think we covered everything. I think we're all right.
Yeah, just real quick to wrap it up with the ending of Ironheart. Give us your quick review without spoiling the end of the show, Dave.
I would say that the last 3 episodes of Ironheart were kind of like the redemption lap a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show didn't start off the strongest.
No.
But whatever they did, and I don't know if they went back and did some reshoots. I don't know if they went back and did some re-edits because this show has been done since 2022.
That's crazy.
And you know what? I do think that they did do some reshoots and some re-edits, and I think that explains why the mystery character that was revealed, why there are discrepancies between the way he talks. And one of the characters even calls him out on it. And I think that they do that so that it is not so jarring as, wait, why does he have an accent here? And why does he not have an accent here? Because I think they went back and made some changes to make him sound a little bit more menacing. And they would have had the luxury to do so, given the fact that this isn't premiering until 2025. But anyway, this show probably, I won't say more than any other, but this show stuck the landing in such a great way that a lot of the Disney Plus shows have not been able to do. It ended on a super, I won't say positive note, but it ended with like, okay, now you've got my attention and now I'm ready to see where you go with this. There are definitely ties to the bigger Marvel universe. There were a lot of like seeds planted that make you question, like, okay, wait, who are you talking about? Who else are you working with? Who else have you had interactions with in the greater Marvel universe? When can we see that? And I think that the casting of the secret character, I'm trying to be spoiler free, was spot on. They over delivered, in my opinion, and gave us just enough of an Easter egg to let us know that some comic based shit in the MCU is coming. And the actress Dominique Thorne did a really great job on those last 3 episodes. And it was very refreshing to be able to see a comic accurate Ironheart suit in the show. So in summation, they stuck the landing and ended very, very strongly.
Nice. Trav, what you thought?
I agree. I mean, yeah, it's he can't really talk too much about it without saying the names, right? But I like the performance, right? I'll say that. And I say, you mentioned menacing, and I like the mixture of menacing and I don't know if the word goofy is the right term, but kind of like whimsical is good. Whimsical and menacing because it fits who it is in the comic. So if it's just menacing, we've seen it a million times. If it's just whimsical, we've seen it a million times. The combination of both and being able to fluctuate and keep us off guard through every word every inflection of those words made this character a perfect adaptation to the MCU from the comic book. And yeah, the show got better as it went on, for sure. The second half, I was watching it last night with my roommate, and we were both, after the first three, we're like, it's just another show, it's fine. We were kind of talking about some stuff, and then on this, it was like, they did it, man. Those last two episodes were like home runs. The fourth one was a good transition, because I'll get into the Hood. It's not a spoiler, that guy.
Right, we knew that for sure.
He was pretty weak in his performance, I thought, because we've seen the guy in like G.I. Joe, Transformers and all that. He's a G.I. Joe character in Transformers and all that. And I thought he was a good actor, but on this, but then he found himself, I think, halfway through that fourth episode, and really I loved him in the fifth and sixth episode, and then it took way to this other character. So he redeemed himself as well. It ended up Ironheart ended up a pretty solid show after the first 3.5, whatever.
Nice. All right, I'm looking forward to it now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and binge it tomorrow, probably.
Hell yeah!
Can I show this
for America?
Can I show this guy?
Oh, is that in art?
Yeah, I got it.
I feel like everybody has this thing but us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. The only problem I'm having right now, and it could just be me, is this cape seems to see how I just barely touched it. It popped out, but there are instructions, thank God, with this figure. But yeah, I don't know. I might have it backwards. I'm having problems because you got to take off the chest plate. It's magnetic, and then put this in. But otherwise, the sculpt, it feels really good in hand and doesn't feel cheap, feels strong. Great likeness, and get the deluxe with all the good stuff. And
I like your first figure from them.
What's up?
Is that your first figure from them?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good things, man.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people with that.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I know people love their Sun Wukong stuff too, and I'm just waiting for the right thing to get me. They go to Comic-Con, right? In art? Am I tripping, Trav? Don't they go there?
I like the stand too. This is dope. The stand is sick.
Actually, Rick, I think they do. I think they do have a booth at SDCC.
Yeah, I think they had something last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We did see stuff from them.
Yeah, originally,
head tilt on this.
As a matter of fact, because they were doing a lot of statues and stuff before.
Yeah,
right?
as their real brand name is Queen Studios, and InArt is just the subline.
Got it.
Of Queen Studios.
Yeah, that means they've been at New York Comic Con too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Before we get out of here, we did have two super chats, but we did not get to in time. One of them is from, or I think it was just one. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's just one from our very own. Oh, there's two. Okay. Let me see. Let me scroll up.
Jen Yamada said, "What's up, fellas? See y'all in a few weeks. Let me know if you need a ride from the airport." Incredible.
Hell yeah, Joe. What a guy. Shout out to Joseph. What a guy. Thank you so much.
So everybody's going except for my man D Walt. Everybody's going to San Diego.
Man. I'm the person over here living their life in debt. Everybody else is rich.
We still living in debt, baby. But we're going.
You just don't give a fuck.
We just go further into debt.
You let these bills figure it out on their own.
Yeah, that's all Future Rick's problem, not me.
Right.
What are the dates for Comic-Con again?
24, 27.
24th through the 27th. Yep.
Just something of note, as I know we've talked a lot about movies and TV shows and shit, which is something that I always get a chance to geek out on when I'm on here. Next Friday, ladies and gentlemen, Superman.
Superman.
And I'm trying to stay spoiler free because this motherfuckers will show you everything in the trailer, won't they?
Yeah. They're desperate to get people, and they fucking reveal as much as they can in hopes to get people in.
Some movies don't need this many trailers, bro. Like, hit me over the head one good time with a Superman trailer and just put that shit in there right the first time, and I'm there. Like, it's Superman. You don't need to sell me. And they doing the same shit with Fantastic Four. But anyway, are you guys going on premiere night, opening night? You guys already got
just about to say that I think this might be the first time in a long time that I go out on opening night to see
Hell
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything for big soups, baby.
The internet is going to be riddled with spoilers.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like you almost have to if you want to like enjoy the shit.
I mean, if I'm being honest, you're you know, a lot of times I think that these trailers aren't as bad as people think that they are, but I think that anybody complaining about these trailers for Superman is justified. They're showing a lot in these fucking trailers, and it's pretty bad.
I mean, it could also mean that there is a lot to show. You know what I'm saying? Do we know the runtime? Do we know the runtime?
I'm sure we do. It's sure it's like an hour something.
I'm looking at my AMC app right now. I'm going on the 10th, so a week from today. 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. 2 hours, a little too.
And again, from the final version screening that they did in Hollywood, the feedback was this is basically live action Superman the animated series. That's what people described it to.
It's a good thing to hear. Love that series.
So
I don't know about you guys, but I hate that the Fantastic Four comes out the weekend at Comic-Con. I know you guys went to like
me too, because I never want to go to it. Everybody's gonna go to
I don't want to
like,
go to the movies when I'm at
Comic-Con. That's how it is.
Yeah, I'm tired as shit. Like, I don't want to go to these fucking movies. Like, who was I talking to?
I just want to go to the coin op and drink. I don't want to go
right. Yeah, go to fucking coin op every night.
That's a Friday, right?
Yeah,
that Friday. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we go like every night, but yeah, Friday is like the toy
Friday is like the toy collector night.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there any Hall H shit that's going down at the
conference? No, Marvel pulled out of Hall H this year.
Is DC at there? DC there?
They should be. I believe so.
They're gonna announce the schedule on Wednesday coming up. So it'll be Wednesday. You'll know Wednesday schedule on Wednesday, Thursday on Thursday, Friday on Friday, and Saturday on Saturday this coming week.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Right. Yeah.
Like a week from yesterday, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know who I was talking to. Maybe it was Wade. Shout out to Wade. Unparalleled Universe, but he was saying that last year he was falling asleep while he was watching Deadpool, and not because it was boring, but like, you know, you're fucking tired,
you're
dog.
Tired
like,
after a whole day.
The lights are low. I don't want to watch.
Oh, did you guys enter that contest for Deadpool and Wolverine last year?
Dude, let me tell you something. You're not gonna believe this, Travis. Last year,
no, it's what happened to me, but you first.
My whole family went with me last year, and they fucking won. And they won. They had like, Ryan Reynolds.
If you won, you lost because they let people in that didn't even win. And then by the time, dude, I was waiting in line hours and hours before the movie, all the way back to the harbor, a mile away. Like literally walked a mile away. The line was a mile away, all the way down the harbor. We got halfway there, and they were like, "Sorry," and I was like, "But I won." They just security didn't give a shit. People were showing like fake scanning, and all kind of people went in, and that was it. I still got my popcorn bucket, threw that shit right on eBay, said fuck everybody.
Sold that shit the for like fucking $100. Wolverine mouth. My stepmom and my sister and them all went, and they said it took fucking forever too. They got in though, thankfully, but they got out and they were like, "Do you want this bucket?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like, I'll just.
They're gonna do the same shit for Fantastic Four, and I'll enter it just to get the bucket and then walk the fuck away.
Dude, and that bucket is really expensive already. That Galactus bucket is $80 retail.
I've seen people that got theirs early somehow. I saw a guy post pictures today, and he had like his kid riding in the back seat, like laid down, and had his Fantastic Four bucket in the front seat with a seatbelt on. And I was like,
"God, oh my god."
It's not a game.
They can't be giving that bucket away. That's too big to give away to 7,000 people. 7,000 people. That's an $80 bucket retail.
Yeah, that's crazy money.
They're not gonna give that away.
I've asked this a couple times. When did that shit become part of the culture? Like, when was that the move where they're like doing these exclusive buckets for? That's like
middle of the pandemic. It really started because me and my
3
wife
years ago
started doing it all the time. Like, oh, Doctor Strange has a bucket, want that bucket. Like, oh, Thor: Love and Thunder has a bucket, or Black Panther 2 has a bucket. Like, that was really when it was hitting really
Captain
big.
America is good. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Flamingo Sauce is saying James said no hall event, just an event in general, I think, where he's gonna have John Cena, but who knows? Oh yeah, because Peacemaker comes out after Comic-Con, I think.
So just also not a big Warner Brother panel. That's shocking.
Yeah, that's really strange. These guys are pulling out this year.
All right, stick to toys then. Much easier convention when I stay away from Hall H. That's for sure.
Stick to toys and
what is next after Superman? Is it Supergirl? Is it?
Yeah, I think. Oh no, Peacemaker is technically next, and it's involved in the universe. And who knows if we'll see a connection there? Because that's James Gunn's baby.
Well, we've already seen a trailer. Again, trailers doing too much. We already saw in the first trailer for Peacemaker that Guy Gardner, Maxwell Lord, and Hawkgirl are all in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we knew. We kind of knew that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know till
what? You didn't?
Didn't know.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, I remember when they're shooting. We did have two more super chats. We got a little sidetracked there. We did have two more.
Okay.
These are quick ones. Thank you so much for the super chats. Straight to the SDCC fund, as you guys all well know. Really appreciate it. From Brad Harper, says, "Happy 4th, fellas, with the salute, baby." Harper Figs himself. Shout out to B Harper. Can't wait to see you at Comic-Con, brother. Donna Pops with an incredibly generous super chat as always. Thank you so much, Donna Pops. Mad active in the chat today. I think he's been number 1 for like the most time. Him and Jason S. Said, "We got nice weather in Cali. Maybe it'll hold just mid-70s. Yeah, man. I forget who I was telling the other day where sometimes you get lucky at Comic-Con and it's like a cloudy weekend. And I fucking hope that's the case. Although it would be really funny that this is the year that they have a cloudy weekend because this is a year where you're not going to wait at the pier for Bandai anymore. They're going to do the portal now going forward. I think that whole waiting at the pier thing is probably done. I don't imagine.
It's probably going to be hella cold in California.
I hope you're right. Because last year I was melting
out there. Very icy.
Dude, I was fucking melting. Travis knows the deal, man.
No, it's
last year.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But yeah, no, it's like it took me a minute.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking icy from the Snowcat, not from the Legacy Officer.
Your kid.
We circled around a G.I. Joe, but yeah, it's like 80 top, a high at 86 right now. It's only gonna get worse, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask one. Oh shit! Don't forget, next week you guys are supposed to be talking about what your planned budgets are for.
Oh yeah. You proposed the talking about what we're gonna.
I'm just curious to know how you guys, as somebody who has not been yet, I'm curious to know how you guys go in and budget. And as you said earlier, do you throw caution to the wind and you're like, fuck it, that's a future Rick problem. He'll figure it out.
Dude, sometimes I love to leave shit to the future and fuck myself over.
I think sometimes when you get out there and you start like, you're the meme with the calculations and shit, that you start thinking about how you could pay for the shit that you really want to keep by picking up some of these other things that you don't really collect or care for. So
yeah,
no matter what you do in terms of budgeting and saying what you're going to get, like you end up getting way more shit than you actually need or want.
Facts.
It's hard to even figure it out. And then there are opportunities sometimes when you're there where some shit will be hot right that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be like, oh, somebody wants to buy this from me right now at the con. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of wheeling and dealing and like just hustling while you're out
there. That was a big thing last year. Like the con last year, like the item for everybody to get. Some people that didn't even give a shit was the Demon Slayer Tanjiro was there early before anywhere else, and like everybody had that fucking figure because it was just it was really cheap and it was there early. So that'll be an interesting thing of what's there early.
What's there early. Also a reminder that the Marvel Legends exclusive will be back on, being something that you can get at San Diego Comic-Con in a few years before you could do that. So that'll be interesting.
I saw somebody, I didn't watch it. No, it wasn't a review. It was just pictures. Somebody had put some pictures up of in-hand shots of the
from China, Savage Land. Yeah,
from the Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got Death's Head in hand last year.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. It did.
Last year, you're right though, Boog. You're right though, Boog. Last year was the first year we got shit. We got the the Darth Maul skiff thing, and then we got Once a Man Cobra Commander.
Yes, that's right.
I forgot about that shit. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. What, are you guys buying all of them? I'm only buying Cold Slither and what else? No, I'm skipping Marvel, skipping. Oh, and I'm gonna buy the Mustafar set. That shit's bananas.
That Mustafar set
Anakin and
crazy.
Obi. Yeah,
we got schooled on that in the comments a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I thought it was all the same shit, but it's new shit that looks like old shit.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. That's the best exclusive they got. But as a Joe guy, I can't skip Cold Slither. So those two for me. But I'm not a Savage Land guy. I'm saving money.
Yeah,
I skipped all that shit.
No, I can dig that. I think I'm a pass on the Cold Slither thing. It's it's a deep cut. It's not, I'm not
super niche GI Joe. It's one episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great exclusive though.
It's a great exclusive.
Yeah, that's a great exclusive. And they're doing that whole program or not a program, but the event where they're going to be like an actual band in downtown.
So that's on a Thursday. That's why I asked you guys about Coin Op, because I was like, I hope they don't go against each other, because I know the Hasbro guys I usually chill with at Coin Op, they're gonna be at that Cold Slither. But that's the night before, so that works out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Friday, and I'm sure Saturday, and
yeah, it's crazy. I shout out to Adam because he got my Death's Head last year, but I'm looking at it now because I thought I remembered seeing it. But they have Death's Head on Amazon.
Oh my god!
On clearance.
That's how abundant it was.
Yeah, 37.
He's a banger. He's a banger.
I still never even opened mine.
Yeah, it's
so easy to get.
Yeah, very easy to get. But I am getting I'm hopeful one of the fellas was gonna get your boy a Savage Land set, and I'm still on the fence on whether or not if I'm getting these mask figures from
from Loyal Subjects, right?
Loyal Subjects, yeah. Because the Rhino comes with T-Bob and I forget. Yeah, what is the son's name? Scott?
I think so.
Yeah.
I wish I knew anything about mask.
And it has the chrome. So I don't know though. That is all of that shit is super expensive. Like that line is like jacked up in price.
Yeah, those prices are mad high.
Yeah, I think the cheapest figure in the mask line, I think is like $39 for Brad Harper.
Glad I don't fuck with those toys.
Yeah, me neither. I'm too young for that. Sorry.
So yeah,
I was never a mask guy. I just know because we cut, being a Joe show, you got to cover mask because it's synonymous with each other. And our other guys on a Toy Kind of Mood love mask, and they're all like pissed off. And I'm like, I don't want. Unless they make classified Matt Tracker or something, I'm not messing with them.
I hope they do. Like that would be a great exclusive because they did for the 30th. Was it 30th anniversary?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. It's gonna be an expensive endeavor because I'm like, shit. If you do the math on all of this, you're already like $500 in, and that's wave one.
It's like, $325 for the bundle at BBTS. That's the same price as the Snowcat.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Snowcat has got way better value just because of how big the fucking thing is and the lighting.
All of the little parts and accessories and all of the add-ons there it's amazing. All right, let's get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
The dog's going nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, the dog is pissed, guys. We're out of here. Shout out to Brian Carter for the last second super chat. Shout out to Cap Lives, says fun show, fellas. Thank you, Cap. Everything's going to Comic-Con, baby. We're on the road, a few weeks away. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, appreciate all the super chats. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Trav, love you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Love you too. See you in a couple weeks. See you in a few weeks. Be at the Coin.
Clink some beer glasses together. And
sounds good.
All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there. And until next time. Peace.
Goodbye.
Late.
Great show.
P, have you gotten any more in your cards?
One more time? Sorry.
Have you got any new crazy Pokemon finds?
I gotta run up. August like going nuts.
Nah, do you think I'm about to hop off too?
I want to say thank you guys. Have a great night. See you at Comic-Con.
It was great having you on, Trav. Thank you, man.
It was great meeting you, Booty. Later, bro.
What a guy.
So you said you have